Alright, hello guys, welcome back to another stream. We are full steam ahead with this project at the moment. I've been really busy today working on the bridge on a bridge, kind of the makeshift walkways that the miniatures are going to use to cross, yada yada yada. So it's all moving forward, and today we're just going to put some hours in and try and get the top of the bridge finished. Basically I've just got to kind of add some shade to the metal grates on the top, and then we got to come back in with a sponge and add a little bit of stippling just to make it look a bit weathered and worn. But yeah, we are getting to where we need to be, which is really nice, and I'm very, very happy with how the rust effect has come out for the bridge. So yeah, it's all working out at the moment. Let's see what we got in the chat. All right, we have. Do you know what, Jock? Right, you see that chair emoji that you've got? I got a better one, but got to have a green name to use it. So Alex can use it. He can. There's a sad chair emoji now, although there is one on the Discord, so you can still use that. Alex, we are ready to leave Space Dock. And whoopty, there you are. I'm here and I'm not late for once, which is good. I got everything organized ahead of time, so we are ready to roll. And hopefully we should have no mic problems today, which would be fantastic. So let's get stuck in. Basically, I'm not gonna be sat down for this stream. I'm gonna stand up and get these grates filled with some Nuln Oil, which I can almost always never find because people use it so much. So yeah, all right, let's do this. I think I can actually fold up Sad Chair and put him away for today. Let's get rid of Sad Chair. So I'll give you guys a better look at some of these small bridges that I'd done earlier today, just to give you guys an idea of how the rust effect has come out. And I am really happy with these. It was a bit of an experimental phase. So I started by airbrushing a few base colors, kind of browns and dark oranges, and from there I've worked in some liquid pigment. And yeah, once it's dried, it's all come out pretty well, so I'm going to get a little bit closer to show you guys. I don't trip myself up. See if that's coming up all right. But very, very happy with these. And I've also used like some shipping container bits and pieces, just to make it look like the bridge has been cobbled together with all sorts of scrap that you would find around the ash wastes. But yeah, very, very happy at the moment. The next thing to do for these will actually be some barriers either side. So I've started undercoating some red barriers that I'm going to glue either side of the bridges, just to kind of look cool, really. Yeah, nothing other than to look cool, to be fair. The Traitor Guardsman, perfect timing. Finished watching Babylon 5 for the evening, now I'm here. Well, welcome to the stream, Traitor Guardsman. That's a series I haven't actually watched myself yet. Watched all the other kind of similar themed things, like I watched a lot of Stargate back in the day. But yeah, never done Babylon 5 and never really done Star Trek. So I don't know whether that's something I should try at some point, because obviously I do like my sci-fi. So let's get some of these grates painted. I do have my wet palette prepared for today. So essentially this might not constitute any super exciting, amazing stuff, but it's getting us to where we need to be, and it's just one less job for me to do tomorrow or the day after. And the good news is we have the whole weekend to be working on the bridge, because I'd say we're pretty close to getting this section of the build complete now, which is great. So we can move on to our Ash Waste Nomads sort of section of the build. And then eventually, once that's complete, we will start building the hive wall. And I feel like there's going to be a bit of engineering involved when it comes to that. New angle acquired, Jock. It is. I've raised it slightly higher so you guys can see everything that's going on, and you can see the top of my head now. Because last time I'd done this on stream, I kind of cropped the top of my head out of it. So yeah, we've kind of prepared for that this stream, and I feel like you guys can get a good look at what's going on. So yeah, hopefully it works out. Also feels like a lot less pressure than what was it, Wednesday's stream? Because Wednesday's stream, I set the camera up right in front of my face, and I swear to God, it felt like so much pressure for the first, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. Just getting used to having the camera right in front of my face, whereas here, I don't feel like I'm front and center. So it takes a bit off. But yeah, so I haven't got too many more of these to fill up because we've done the first section, we've done that a couple of streams ago. So we're just going to kind of do the rest of this. And then come tomorrow, I'm going to glue some statues on. I've got a few statues painted for our pillars so they can go on. I'm also going to work on these aforementioned railings. And then we're pretty much good to go up here, and probably just a few small little tweaks around the board. And we can move on to the next one. There is another little element that some of you guys might have noticed. I don't know if you can quite see it from that angle actually, but I'll spin it around now so you guys can see. Because a while ago I was asked about how you would be able to climb up and get access to the top of the bridge. So when you're playing Necromunda or Kill Team or whatever, I was asked, you know, how else are you going to be able to access the top of the bridge? Which is it's a decent question. So obviously our first available route, let's say, to get on the bridge is going to be where the hive wall. So the hive wall section, you can move them around, but this would be a way of doing it, is you'll have your hive wall section here, and there'll be another little bit of bridge that juts out, so you'll be able to access it there. And with that, I'll also make another little walkway, but it won't be stuck down. So obviously if you choose to set up your board this way, you can put your little walkway bridge on so people can traverse from this side. And if you don't choose to do that, there is also going to be this little method here. So some of you guys would have seen me paint these on stream or add the decals at least. So we've got some shipping containers here. And the plan is to have a ladder that goes up to this section here. And then from there, we're going to make like a janky little, I don't know, walkway, shelf, whatever you want to call it. And we'll have another ladder ascending to there. So basically, you've got two methods of getting on top of the bridge. You know, you can start from this level, climb up the ladders, get to the top. Or if you've got the configuration where you have the Hive City up this side, you'll be able to traverse it from the Hive City. And it's just to give it a little bit more, give you more opportunities, because obviously this is going to be a playable board. So I want people to be able to traverse it, basically. Long live the grey name, says Jock. Well, I don't know if you're ever going to be tempted by the sad chair emote, because everyone with a green name can use that now. You can use that on stream. Alex, know a lot find it boring, but The Expanse, if you want scientific-based sci-fi series, of course it's sci-fi, but the ships and battles are crazy. Way ahead of you on that one, Alex. I have watched all of The Expanse. I haven't read the books that the series is based on, but I did watch the series. I was a little bit disappointed in the way it was, or the way it ended, I guess. But the series, the first 3 seasons, I really, really enjoyed. But that is a good recommendation. Trader Guardsman, grappling hooks, climbing ropes, harness clips, they can do that. I'm sure the Ash Waste nomads are kitted up. I'm sure lots of gangers in the Underhive are kitted up, so they could use their grappling hooks to ascend. But those are going to be our 2 main methods of getting to the top of the bridge. Either that, you have the high ground or not, exactly. And we all want the high ground. So that just gives a few methods to get up to the top of the bridge. Because this is the first... I keep wanting to say diorama. It's not a diorama. It's going to have lots of detail like a diorama, but it's not going to be a diorama. So this is going to be the first gaming board that I have created. And obviously I need to bear in mind that people are going to want to play fun games on it and not just look at it. So I've got to try my best to make it playable. But it's definitely a nice challenge. It forces me to put a lot more thought into things now. So I dig it. And the main thing is I'm thoroughly enjoying this build. So that is another bonus. And I'm hoping today our audio and visual are all sorted out, because I feel like today, well, probably since last stream actually, I've managed to get it working correctly each time, because there was a few technical issues to begin with. Just me and new technology don't exactly mix sometimes, but hopefully we're pretty flawless today. And do you know what I need to do? This is something else I got to keep on top of, is make sure I put the filter on all messages instead of just top messages. There we go. Evening all. King of the Dead, evening. How are we doing? How are we doing this evening? Do you know what? That's probably the first time on stream that I've managed to do that for myself, because usually Big Brain is here and he's like, have you put all the messages on? Have you made sure the filter's on all messages? And the answer is almost always no. Because I get set up, I get everything ready, get in the mindset, and then just forget everything else. Toby, ahoy there, good sir. Hello, Toby. How are we doing this evening? Traitor Guardsman, all is running fine and clear. That is excellent to hear. Thy Orange Banana, good evening, everyone. Hello, Nihilus. Good evening, Thy Orange Banana. It is nice to see you all. We are thundering along with the build nicely now. I will go over a few things for you guys who have just turned up to the stream. But basically, we've got quite a few things done at the moment, and we're pretty close, I'd say, to finishing this first section, which is really nice because we can move on to the next. So, I'll go over a few of these things. Apologies to you guys who've already heard this once, but we have, I'll spin it sideways as well, we have our bridge on a bridge now. So we have our kind of rusted metal walkways, which, pat myself on the back, I feel like they've come out quite nicely. It was a bit of an experimental paint job with these, to be fair. A lot of airbrush work and a lot of liquid pigments doing the heavy lifting, but very happy with how they look. What we need to do now, however, is we need to get some railings on either side, so I will show you guys. Bam, bam, bam. Let's see how well these turn up. So I've painted a few of these Zone Mortalis railings red. They will get a highlight with the airbrush and they will get some weathering, but essentially these are going to sit either side of our makeshift walkways, just so your Necromundan inhabitants don't fall off it. And then yeah, so statues go on this weekend, hopefully. We also have some shipping containers here, and that is because there is going to be another way to ascend onto the bridge using these two. You're going to have a ladder that goes up to this middle section, and then we're going to have another platform up here with another ladder. So your gangers or your Imperial Guard or your Space Marines or your kill team can ascend to the bridge another way instead of just out from the Hive City. But yeah, so that is kind of getting you all caught up, and some of you caught up twice because you've already heard that. Just put these back. But yeah, basically I am very, very happy with this at the moment now, and it's all kind of falling into place. So I had a little think about how I wanted miniatures to be able to ascend the bridge in another way, and the shipping containers just kind of were there, and they seem to work. So that's what we're going to go with. Toby, all good. Hope everyone's having a good Friday. I added fantastic. I hope you're having a fantastic Friday. You have the weekend ahead of you now, so hopefully get some hobby in. Not to copy myself, but Danish Army had 2 Leopard 2A 5DK in A stand on Hilltop watching when little brothers went into the green zone. Quick overwatch with the 120 millimeters. God, Alex, you are up with your history stuff there. You are definitely up with your history stuff. Okay, so back to it anyway. I have a tendency to derail myself, I do. When I'm talking you all through what's going on, I'm like, oh, what was I doing? What was I working on again? So yeah, going through what we're doing today is we are just filling these grates in with some Nuln Oil shade, just to give them a bit more depth. And then on top of that, we'll sponge some Rhinox hide on top. On top, I don't need to keep saying on top. But yeah, then they are done. And the top of the bridge, once these statues are glued on by the end of the weekend, is pretty much done. So as I said, we just have a few other little tweaks to make and additions to make, and then the job is a good one. And we can move on. So yeah, what are we all up to this evening then? Are we doing any hobby this evening? Or are we just chilling after a week of work? And I know for some of you it's probably been extremely difficult because we're on like heatwave 25 or something, I don't know, kind of lost count. It's very difficult here in the UK, and I know a lot of Europe as well, but I think it's going to end soon, you know. I think we are going to get some rain and it's going to cool down next week, which will be great. Because even though I've managed to work on this piece, the heat has made it pretty unbearable. And I am looking forward to the autumn months where I can just work unhindered by the heat and the conditions that we currently have. Toby, I think the mic might be a little high. It could be rubbing when you're leaning, just me. Anyone getting any crackle? Crackle, are we getting some crackle? How do we feel about that, guys? It might be a little high. Oh, I think it is actually. Let's crank him down a bit. How do we feel about that? Is that any better? I think that might have been a little bit too high. No hobbying. Back from jitsu and cooking dinner. Steak and potatoes. Hopefully it will cool down soon for everyone. That sounds really nice, actually. And in typical nihilist fashion, I did not eat before stream, so you're all going to make me hungry. We're going to spend the whole stream talking about food. Toby, I'm currently doing some hobby at Hobby House, painting some 30k AdMech in the aircon. You're making me jealous. It's good to have land. Toby. It's like I was saying when I was down there. This studio has no air conditioning, so I am really, really jealous. And sampling Hobby House's fantastic aircon when I was down there, on what felt like the hottest day of this year, it was a breath of fresh air. So yeah, you're making me very jealous, Toby. Thanks for that. The hobby collab, finishing the new Ogre Hunters. We'll be showing them off tomorrow. Sorry, not a shill, but I am excited for them. Mostly mic is okay. I heard some for a second, but I think it's okay now. Well, hopefully it is, guys, because I've cranked it down a little bit. If it still needs to go down a little bit more, I should be able to do that for you. But as long as we don't have much of a crackle now, you might also hear creaky floor, potentially. But no, I don't think that's shilling at all. I think it's cool to be excited about what you're painting. There's nothing wrong with telling people you're going to show it off. I'm not going to shut people down who want to talk about their work. We're not that kind of channel. It's lunchtime here, Friday, sushi lunch day. That sounds good as well. We're definitely going to start talking about food all stream, aren't we? I can already feel the hunger. I can feel it. So, yeah, what we are going to try and achieve is just get this the whole top of this bridge finished. I haven't glued down any of these pieces yet, obviously, our makeshift walkways, because the aim is to get these sort of grills done first, and then when they're done, we can stick down the temporary bridges. I also mentioned earlier that as a way of connecting the Hive City to this bridge, I will build another temporary bridge. And what I'll do, when I bring this down to Hobby House, I will bring down the extra bridge. And depending on what you guys choose to do in terms of setup when you're playing your games, if you choose to have your Hive City board there, and then you have the bridge coming out from it, and your Ash Waste Nomad settlement here, what I'll do is you guys can put the bridge on and off, the little extra one, just to fit your games, basically. Because otherwise, if you've got all the boards lined up the other way, so you're not having the bridge come out from the Hive City, it's just going to be, you know, redundant. So, yeah. I will bring that along as well. King of the Dead had some sausage for dinner tonight. They were great. So you can't go wrong with sausages and mash. I don't think you can go far wrong with that. And Yorkshire pudding. Just to point out the high ground, have you seen The Outpost with Scott Easty and Orlando Bloom? US making some mistake like Kessan. The Outpost. I feel like it rings a bell, but I'm not sure whether I have seen it. I feel like that's. I feel like I know what the cover is for the DVD, if that makes sense. But no, I haven't seen it. Is that a recommendation as well, Alex? I always like some good recommendations for films to watch. I used to spend a lot of time watching films, not so much anymore, just because I've got too many responsibilities now. But yeah, I used to love watching quite a lot of films. So any good recommendations are always welcome. The one that I keep saying I'm going to do, it's been on my mind for like 2 months now, is Akira is available to watch on, what's it, like Amazon, I think? So I really want to do that, because it's just one that I feel like I'm really going to enjoy. And yeah, missed it. Missed the boat on it completely. So the reason I'm adding this extra little layer of shade is basically just to give a little bit more depth, because I have gone over these bridge grills with an airbrush and some Nuln Oil in the airbrush, but it just kind of darkens it a little bit more subtly. So with this, I'm able to darken the recesses a lot more, and then once I've got that stippled rhinox hide on the top, they look really sort of grubby and gross, and that's what I want. Tell you, I'm already sweating buckets though. Something else that I'm going to have to do rather soon, if I want to get these statues in place, is I need to flatten the plinths a little bit more. Because obviously when I cut these off, I kind of used a hacksaw, and some of them, it's not too many, I think it's only 1 or 2, are a little bit off kilter. So I just need to sand them down a little bit before I put the statues on. But other than that, they are ready to be stuck in place. Very good. US soldiers left in a gorge surrounded by Taliban. Nowhere to run but fight for your life. Okay. I'll give that a shot. I feel like that's a mid-2000s film. If I was going to take a guess, I'd say that's a mid-2000s film. But yeah, I'll give it a try. Why not? I wouldn't say I watch too many war films. I think the main genre for me is probably sci-fi. Although I am partial to a good horror film as well. So I'll always take recommendations for good horror films. Traitor Guardsman, any typhus corrosion? Do you know what, Traitor Guardsman? Typhus corrosion is a paint that I don't feel like is that necessary all of the time. I feel like it can help, but when you're trying to get things to look grimy and weathered, I don't think you always need it. You know, I think if you're kind of sparing with it, it's alright, but a lot of the stuff that I've painted recently, I haven't used typhus corrosion. I feel like it's still managed to look horrible and run down. So yeah, there I am, slating typhus corrosion. Yeah, it's just not a necessary paint for me. Not to say I don't appreciate that suggestion though, Traitor Guardsman. It sounds like I just shot you down. And some of you will probably notice I'm not using my good brushes today, and that's because I don't have a thick enough one. So I'm just using a cheapy brush here to fill these holes instead of my Artis Opus ones. And that's just because when I got my Artis Opus brushes, I asked for all the small ones, because obviously I was buying them with the idea that I was going to paint lots of small miniatures, which was a bit daft. So I didn't really get any that were kind of terrain sized. So I think at some point in the future I'm going to need to get some terrain sized ones. But this will do the job for now. King of the Dead, I've seen an interesting product from AK to make Rust Bloom's texture. I'm hoping to try it out in the future. I do like AK's stuff, King of the Dead. I really do. Toby has kindly sent me a bunch of weathering powders and some rust streaks that I'm going to use on this project. But I do like them. It's something that I've only started using in the past few years, I think, AK products. But yeah, they are fantastic for like weathering and your dust effects and everything. There's still loads of other sort of paints they offer and effects. Because I think they've got a concrete one as well that I think would be cool to try at some point. But yeah, I love them. I wouldn't go without them now I've used them. In fact, I'm very much looking forward to using the rust effect one on these shipping containers, because I've still got to stipple them yet, and I still got to do the kind of weathering and dust and rust. Sex in the City, that's a horror by far. I don't think that's on my list, Alex. I don't think that's on the list of my horror films. I'm trying to think of the last horror film that I watched. I think it was it called Together, maybe? Came out last year, I think, with is it Alison Brie and Dave Franco. I think it was called Together, but that was quite a good film. That was better than I was expecting it to be. I don't know whether it counts as straight up horror, because there's definitely some dark comedy in it, but that was quite an enjoyable film. Use my fat fingers to rub some of the excess off there. Okay, I think it's time for a little drink. It's thirsty work doing this in the studio. Apologies if you get this loud and clear on the mic. All right, much better. Fantastic, let's keep this going. So my aim now is to hopefully have this section done by Sunday, because I'm looking forward to the next challenge that is going to be our Ash Waste settlement. Got loads of kits to use for this. So we've got lots of habs. We've also got some of the missile silos, I think they're called, or they double up as landing pads or missile silos, but I think we're going to bury some of them in there as well, and kind of make it look like the nomads have built their camp on maybe an old missile deployment site, just to give the table a little bit more character. I was thinking of just like having a camp in the middle of the wastes, but I feel like it gives a bit more of a narrative oomph if it's like a, you know, an old silo or some kind of outpost, I guess. So that is what we're going to go with. to get into the theme, I've also been listening to like the history of Necromunda on YouTube. So that's been helping sort of inspire me to get going with this board. Because I feel like it has such a rich history, Necromunda does. And they're always adding to it. So there's always something interesting to read about. And obviously the history goes way back to the Horus Heresy. I mean, you do have the history beyond that as well, or like before the Horus Heresy, but I feel like from the Horus Heresy onwards is where you get all the juicy stuff. Okay, this section isn't too bad, because it's like I've said before, you can be a little bit rough and ready with this. Because if you get a bit of overspill, no one's really going to notice once you get your Rhinox hide stippled on top. I tend to dab off anything that looks a little bit too egregious with my finger. But for the most part, you're really not going to see it. Some of them I do double up on a little bit just because it dries a bit lighter sometimes. So I do want them to be fairly dark. There we go. Nice. We are nearing the point as well where I can crack out the rest of the posters for the build. So I printed off a bunch of posters for this. And kind of the top right hand side of the board I have done a bit of a tester, so I put a few of the posters on there just to see what it would look like. And I love them. I absolutely love them. It's the same as transfers for me. I just feel like they're that extra little detail that just really helps when you add it to the board. King of the Dead, I believe Oldenhammer has a video on the history of it as a game. Looking at how different games evolved helps inform quite a bit of lore. Okay. Maybe I should check that one out. I haven't watched that video, but I will I'll check it out. In fact, I will do the thing and I will screenshot that, otherwise I will forget. And you can recommend things to me on the Discord as well, guys, because that's probably the best place to do it, because I can actually see it then, and it stays there. I don't need that, do I? Yeah, so feel free to do that. Excuse me, we're getting cold. Degrees in Denmark are rising again, so is humidity, so I am sparingly painting something now. You really have to align these things. You use thin glue. I mean, I think it's everywhere, Alex, to be fair. I really do. Sparingly painting, that's the thing. As long as you can get a little bit of hobby done, I think that's all that matters. But, you know, just don't push yourself too hard. Because I'm taking it pretty easy with this stream. We're just filling in gaps with Nuln Oil, basically. We're not doing anything too painstaking. My tendency is to wake up a little bit earlier and do things, because the studio is nice and cool in the morning, so it makes it much easier to get some of the more challenging aspects of this build completed. Because there's nothing worse than fiddling around trying to get something done and you're overheating and you're losing your temper. It's just not worth it. The hobby is supposed to be enjoyable. But I do know how you feel, Alex, because it's exactly the same here. Still feels like it's about late 20 degrees, I think. Mid or late 20 degrees. So yeah, not the perfect weather for hobbying, but obviously as we move forward into the end of summer, the closing weeks of summer, things are going to be hopefully a lot easier to deal with. And for me, it means longer hobby sessions, basically, because if the weather is easier to cope with, I find I can sit down for hours on end and just get on with things. But in the summer, I find I need to take more breaks just because I get a little bit too warm. No siestas though, unfortunately. Cool. Right, I'm gonna need another drink. I feel like I should have bought 2 of these and double parked. Cool. I've also tidied up a little bit. I know it's probably not evident through the live stream, but these plastic containers that you can get are absolutely fantastic, and they are helping me organize things a lot better. And I need to do that because obviously I am spinning different plates with different projects at the moment, and it's nice to be able to keep things organized. So I've got a local pound shop or bargain shop, and I can pick them up for a couple of quid each time, and they are just perfect for me. And it means I have more space in the studio to work with, basically. So I've got another one of those today, and it's freed up a lot more space. And the funny thing is, before I'd started this project for Hobby House, I did tidy the studio. I got everything organized. I got it, you know, it's quite methodical. And then I ended up with, lots of scenery, courtesy of Toby, to make these builds, and they had to go somewhere. And I can tell you what, they weren't going in the house, so I've had to rearrange things and sort of reorganize. But I would say we are there now. It just gets a little bit stressful sometimes if you have a messy hobby space. Now, I know we've covered this, and it is okay to have a messy hobby space, because mine mostly is when I'm working. But when you've got loads of different kits lying around, it can be really annoying. And I have a tendency to root through the boxes behind me, just looking for certain pieces. And for some reason, I just don't put anything back. So then I get frustrated that there's a mess everywhere. So long as sad chair's okay, that's the main thing. Oh, I guess you've seen our Discord then, Toby. I guess you've seen the new emoji we have. It's also available on YouTube now. Well, it's available to the green names, it is. You guys can type in, I think you can type in sad chair if you're a green name, and it should come up as an emoji. Or at least that's what I tried to sort it out as. King of the Dead, as temperatures peak after midday, I'll have a great painting environment during my summer vacation in a week. Oh dear. Well, that's it. It's fitting it in, really, isn't it? It's fitting it in when it's an acceptable temperature. King of the Dead, a nice hobby session can be just... Exactly. Do you know what? I second that. I thoroughly second that, King of the Dead. Sometimes if you are... Yeah, if you're not in the mood or you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, it's really good just to tidy your hobby space because it feels like a fresh start. I could not agree with that anymore. Oh, Glenn is here, and Glenn has a question, and Glenn has the emoji. Question, would you rather be slightly hungry all the time or over full all the time? Oh, is that because I said I haven't eaten before stream again? Is that why? What would I be? Do you know what? I would rather feel slightly hungry all the time. I feel like most of the time I feel slightly hungry, so it's not going to be much of a change. I feel like there is nothing worse than feeling like you've eaten too much and then trying to do stuff sucks. So, do you know what, Glenn? That doesn't, from me, that doesn't require much thinking. So I'm going to say feel like I'm a little bit hungry all the time. Okay, there we go. Alex, steady chair is still in the screen. Well, he is. He's hiding off screen. Look at this. Here he is. You could just about see him, couldn't you? Sad chair isn't needed for a little while now. We're doing a lot of standing. We're going to burn some non-existent calories since I haven't eaten. But yeah, chair's an integral part of this channel, guys. Wouldn't be here without Sad Chair. But unfortunately, Sad Chair is just not needed today. That's the only disadvantage of Sad Chair, is he is a little bit low. So when I sit down, it's alright to work on anything ground level on this project and use Sad Chair. But when it comes to anything on the top of the bridge, I need to stand. So you can only imagine what our Hive City walls are going to look like. I'm going to be stood up all the time. All the time. I've also been putting some thought into our Hive City walls, and I think we're going to build them. Well, I think we're going to use some Zone Mortalis walls as a base, and from there we will build our wall up, and we will have like a, what do you call it now, styrofoam. We're going to kind of sand our styrofoam or cut it upwards, and then we'll have the wall kind of coming from the top of it, so it gives that impression of like a layer of dust. Well, I say a layer, like multiple layers of dust have formed against the side of the wall. Just to kind of make it tie into those images of the hive that you see, like the artwork where it kind of looks like it's all sweeping up. So that's what we're going to go with. He's in stealth mode. He is, Toby. He's hiding. He's hiding this stream. He felt awfully offended after what you guys said to him last stream, or the stream before. He's very sensitive as our Sad Chair. So this is coming on nicely. I'm going to use this same rust effect as well that I've managed to achieve for the bridges on a few other things, just because I feel like it's going to be a little bit more durable, because I've talked about in the past how I really enjoy using Dirty Down Rust. I think it's a fantastic tool and it does give the most realistic rust. But I'm going to be a little bit sparing with it on this project, because obviously this project is going to be handled a bit more, and I know that Dirty Down Rust can be reactivated, so if it's being handled a little bit too much, it will reactivate, whereas this method can take a bit more of a beating. So it's not to say I won't use it in certain areas maybe that won't kind of see as much action, but yeah, I'm just going to use this new method a little bit more, I think. Poor Sad Chair, the orange banana says. Yeah, see, you should all feel sorry for him. You bullied him. King of the Dead, which walls will you use? I love the walls made by little plastic people, although using some other smaller pieces would make it easier and add a lot of detail. Well, do you know what I am going to use, King of the Dead, is I'm going to use wall sections from the now out of production Imperial Sector pieces. So Toby's given me quite a lot of them, and I'm going to mix them in with some Zone Mortalis pieces and kind of do a few layers of them. So I was thinking maybe 4 or 5 layers high, because the wall section isn't going to be incredibly wide. You know, the wall section is only going to stretch one of these pieces, basically. So the same as the bridge. And I think, because it's going to be not small, we can do like 3 or 4 layers, or 4 or 5 layers, sorry. And you know, they're nice and ornate pieces as well, so I feel like they'll look really good. I don't particularly want to go for just a big blank wall. You know, I want the sections to have that detail. I think as much as like a stone wall can be imposing, I want these to be quite ornate. Look, I don't want to sound dramatic, but I would die for Sad Chair. Oh, so would I, Toby. Sad Chair is really, he brings us, he he brings us together, Sad Chair does. Sad Chair is the true star of this channel. It's not me, it's not you guys, it's Sad Chair. Trader Guardsman, do you use Dirty Down Rust hot or cold? I always use it, well, I don't use, I'm trying to think, because I've done a few methods. Recently I just use it cold. I used to heat it up with a hairdryer in the pot, but I noticed that I could still achieve the same effect when it's cold, basically. So I always use it cold. I just give it a damn good shake before I use it. And you know, once you apply it, because you can apply it like thick, thin, I tend to water it down, apply it and water it down a little bit, and then if I'm not happy with the effect when it dries, I'll just rework it a little bit, add more, add water in certain areas, just till I can manipulate it to look the way I want it to. But yeah, it might just be me. I never really seen a stark difference heating it up. So yeah, I noticed that just shaking the hell out of it seemed to do the job. But it's still a fantastic piece of kit, basically, because it feels like it's not really a paint, you know, it's kind of a tool to use. I love it, and I would recommend it to lots of people. The only thing I would say is just if it's a miniature that you're handling loads, beware, because like I said, it will reactivate. But if you're building like a diorama or maybe just some scenery for you, or scenery that's not going to get manhandled a lot, it's fantastic. It really is. They've also got a verdigris one, but I haven't got around to that one yet. I haven't tried it, though I would like to. And what's the other one? Is it a moss one as well? Maybe a jungle board in future. Pardon me. Blood for the blood god. I get here and that chair is still a major topic. I know. I know. It's either that or food at the moment. I don't feel like we spend too much time talking about Warhammer. We just talk about food and chairs. But hello, Blood for the Blood God. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Here we go. Nihilus only question, says Glenn. To paint on top of the hive walls, would you consider standing on Sad Chair? Standing on Sad Chair? Are you serious? Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. That's a death wish. That's a death wish. Do you want me to stop streaming? Sorry guys, I can't stream this evening. I've broken my neck. No, I absolutely would not stand on Sad Chair. That sounds like an awful idea, Glenn. I don't feel like you thought that question through. Rodney reporting for duty, sir. Hello, Rodney. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream, buddy. Toby, applying it, then hitting the section with a hairdryer makes some wild effects. I haven't actually tried that, Toby. Maybe I'll have to try that one. Again, it's one of those things that I really like using it. I can't say that I know all the ways to use it. I just kind of use a method that I ended up finding successful. So, yeah, I'll have to give that a try, though. They do actually have, I feel like I'm advertising for them at the moment. It's just because I really enjoy the product. No affiliation at all. But they also have a yellow one, and I feel like that looks really cool. Like, you could probably get some pretty cool effects from that. Boom. A really crispy effect. I'm going to have to try that. I am going to have to try that. I've still got a pot kicking around somewhere that I was using for my last little Ash Wastes base build. Just need to get a hairdryer now. Borrow my missus' hairdryer. I'm sure she'd love that. Alex, yep, layered battlements from autocannons to bigger brothers. Well, you guys are going to love this. Shall I potentially blow your mind? All right, check this out. I'm going to waddle to the back of the studio here and show you guys what we have in store for the Hive City walls. Bum ba bum. Ba 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 ba. Bear with me. So, this is one of the more interesting kits that Toby gave me to use for the project. Check out these bad boys. Now, I'm sure a couple of you are already going to know what these are from, But for those of you who don't, these are from, do you know what? I was going to say that, I completely forgot what it was. Is it the Fortress of Redemption? How embarrassing is that? Anyway, there's another section, and these are fantastic. I love these. But what I am thinking of doing is, as I said, you know, we're going to have the ash wastes at the bottom of the wall that kind of go up to the wall. And I'm thinking maybe we have these kind of, I don't know, somewhere like that, potentially. We could stagger them, have one a little bit lower, but these are fantastic and built in to the Hive City wall and like built into the kind of mound surrounding it. I feel like they are going to look really, really good. So let me put these back and I will check the chat. I am not short of kits to use for this project. Toby has made 100% sure of that, so you guys are going to see some pretty interesting kits. What do we have? Blood for the Blood God. The verdigris is great. The moss, I still don't know what to use it for. I feel like it would be really good in a jungle style build, and you don't really see too many of them in 40k. I've seen a few people on Instagram do like jungle themed boards, but I feel like that's one we should kind of bring back, and maybe at some point it's one we might attempt on the channel. Especially because if you are familiar with Space Marine 2, and I think it's the first map you play on Space Marine 2, on the first level you kind of have this like Imperial slash Mechanicus base in the middle of this jungle. I feel like that kind of theme would be really cool, so it would probably work well there. Toby, I spent a small fortune on that kit, and I am so stoked to see it used on this board. Do you know what, Toby? I promise you I will try and do it justice. I have some good ideas for it. I feel like we've managed to put the bridge to fairly good use. I feel like the bridge is getting there. It's looking quite good, if I do say so myself. So yeah, we will put them to good use, Toby. I will make them look as good as I can. Alex, Misa like this, I want. They are really cool. It's the first time I've got hands-on with that kit, and that kit's been around for a while. I don't think it's in production anymore, so I'm really excited because it's just one of the kits I've always wanted to work with. So it's going to be one off the list. King of the Dead, my club has 2 in different states of building painted. Whoa, jealous. Maybe we need another 2. We need 4 turrets. That being said, there is one, well, it's like one big set that I want to eventually use, is the, what was it, the fire base. You had the trench system. I don't know if you guys remember the old trench system, and you used to have the big gun emplacements on that. That would be just an absolute dream to do one of those. But we have enough on our plate at the moment, so maybe that's a future job. Rodney Gore, why not? They look good. I feel like thematically they're going to really blend in. There is another section somewhere else that I was toying with earlier. You kind of have the walkway in between, so I was thinking of incorporating that as well. But I'll do a little bit more planning before anything is set in concrete. I use the moss for dungeon type builds. That sounds like it would work, Glenn, to be fair. I just need to get hold of it and try it out. Pine tree to desert, that could work. Oh, another question. Nihilus only question, would you rather be on a transatlantic flight that was slightly too hot, slightly too cold? That's the theme of the questions tonight, Glenn. Too cold, slightly too cold, because this, at the moment, what we are working in is slightly too hot, and it's just, it's not unbearable, but you know, you kind of got like a glaze, so slightly too cold for me, thank you, Glenn. Pardon me. Okay, let's continue anyway. I distracted myself with the future of the build, because we still have to finish this section, and you know, before we start the Hive City section, we're going to do our Ash Waste Nomad area. And I feel like each section we do is going to be slightly upping the ante. So this section is probably, even though it's not basic, I feel like it's going to be the most basic out of the 3 sections, because our Nomad camp is going to feature some habs. It's going to feature the sort of silos. and a bunch of other little details really. You know, your barrels, your equipment, your shipping, your shipping containers. So there's going to be progressively more going on in each section. Obviously not too much so it affects gameplay, but you know, upping the ante each time. Lava river. Lava river. Anything with lava I think in future could be cool. Maybe like a I don't know, like a base or something with lava around it. I feel like when it comes to different themes, there is so much to choose from. And I think whatever we decide to build in the future, we're going to have lots of options. So I'm not worried about what the future holds at all, because you know, I think we'll do something completely different to Ash Wastes, and we will certainly have fun with it. A bit of spillage, but this has been fun, and it's been fun because the small build that I'd done before this, the little Ash Wastes base, kind of eased me into this project and gave me a bunch of ideas, and that was built and completed before I started working with Hobby House. So before our joint venture here on the scenery, I was already building some Ash Waste stuff. So maybe it was written in the stars. But it is incredibly fun. Like I've said, I am definitely enjoying this build, and I think I'm going to really enjoy seeing the pictures of you guys using it for your games, and I'm hoping I do get to see some. I'm hoping I'll be tagged in some pictures and see what kind of battles you guys get up to on it. Alex, so hot you can always open the door. I can't because I'm a loudmouth and my neighbours are probably like, what's he on about? Why is he talking to himself? Although they're probably not out now, are they? I might do that in a minute. I might actually do that, Alex. That's a damn good suggestion. Toby, I'd love to see you tackle something like Istvan or Prospero. Oh, that would be cool too. Well, that's the thing. We also have options when it comes to you know, the timeline. So it doesn't necessarily have to be something that's 40k. We could have 30k era stuff. You know, we can have builds that are tidier than others. Because obviously this build has been quite fun for me because it's been a bit messier. So it's been detailed, but I haven't had to be as stringent with the details like I am with the throne room. But yeah, there are builds like we could do something Prospero based, we could do something jungle based, we could do something blizzard based, hangers, you know, underhive stuff. The list is just endless, really. The potential is there. We just have to see how this first build goes, although I think it's going pretty damn well. Pardon me. Cool. So we're already nearly to this halfway point. So I'm going to move our bridge. I haven't glued it down yet. And do you know what I used to build the bridge? I probably talked about this before. I used some spacers that builders use for, I think they're putting in windows. They're either blocks or putting in windows. But they have a really nice texture on them. And now that they're painted up in rust, I think they are just fantastic. And you wouldn't be able to tell that they were spacers. Traitor Guardsman, what about Space Hulk? See, that could be really cool. Especially considering, I think some of the sprues that Toby's given me are like the Space Hulk sprues with all the kind of rundown walls and stuff like that. So that's definitely a possibility as well. Green Sludge River could have something like that in the Underhive for sure, Rodney. Oh, here we go, Glenn. Nihilus only question, what is your favourite tipple at the bar? It's a Diet Coke. It's a Diet Coke. It's a cherry Diet Coke. That's what I got in that glass. Sorry, that's not an interesting answer for you, Glenn. Alex, on the plane, what's the on the plane, what's the problem? What do you mean, Alex? on the plane. What's the problem? Right, let's just fill up this section, bear with me. When this top bit is dry, I forgot as well, there is an extra little bit that I am going to do to this build. It's not going to take up too much time, because obviously I can't let it drag on forever, but we are going to make it a little bit messier at the top, because at the moment, even though the bridge is making it look a little bit more, you know, scummy and underhivey, let's say, I do want to put some more sort of dust and sand and stuff on the top. So I'm probably going to mix some PVA glue with some sand and do some little patches just to match our ground level here and make it look like, you know, dust and dirt and detritus, name of the video snuck in there, is going to make it tie in basically. Okay, let's do a bit more. Nearly there. There we go. Cool, yeah, and then hopefully, I'm hoping on stream actually, we can go over this again with the sponge, just because then it's done. You know, it's another thing that's done. And I've got my Saturday and Sunday to work on this build, which is absolutely fantastic. It's just something I don't have to do tomorrow, and I can move forward with other not more important details, but details that I really want to work on. As much as I love building and painting, there are sort of areas of building that I prefer more, and certainly areas of painting that I prefer more. So building the bridge today and painting the bridge was a lot of fun for me. Our makeshift walkway. I think I was pretty excited about it just because I was trying out a new method with the rust and the liquid pigments, and now that it's all worked out, I'm very, very happy with it. So yeah, that's one of the areas I prefer. Just open the door and get some fresh air, why not? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's take some advice from Alex. Let's open the door. You can see me struggling. Oh, that is nice. That is really, really nice. Okay, cool. We got it. We're doing it, Alex. Can you see how sweaty I am on stream? Is that it? You're looking at my shiny ass forehead and you're like, that guy needs to open the door. Otherwise he's going to collapse. Smoke a cigar, real ashes, said Rodney. Oh, I don't know about that. We got the pigments for that, Rodney. We've got some fantastic AK pigments to use. We've got some nice colours as well. What were they called? European Earth, I think, is one of them. But Toby has given me a few colours that I sort of requested. And I think they're going to look really good on the board, but that's going to be one of the last things we do. I think I just want to get all the details down first. And then when that is done, I'll come back in and give it a brush with some of the pigment powders. So yeah, we will leave that till last. Diet Orange Banana, don't forget to keep hydrated. That's a good point, Diet Orange Banana. I'm out of Diet Coke. I'm out of Coke. But I will be okay for the time being. I might pop up to the house and get a drink in a sec. But for now, we're all right. But I appreciate that, Diet Orange Banana. I appreciate you looking out for me. I don't want to collapse midstream. That wouldn't be very fun to watch. Knock over the table and everything goes wrong. Maybe I need to get a little high chair. sit in a high chair and paint this. Because Sad Chair isn't tall enough, are you, Sad Chair? Okay. I think I may have been using an even bigger brush for this the other day. I can't remember where I've put that down. I have a tendency to use just the same brush for all different things. So what was I working on? Yeah, the bridge. So the bridge. I think I was probably using the brush for this on the bridge. Kind of burn through these cheaper brushes because I end up picking them up at like TK Maxx here in the UK. But they're just really good if you don't want to bash your nice brushes around. And they're not fantastic quality or anything like that, but gets the job done and it doesn't cost much. So going wrong with my chubby fingers. I am the Dangawa, certainly a way to go viral. How's that, painting one of these? I don't know about that. The only thing I've had that's gone viral was the, I think 1 or 2 videos I've done of the Golden Throne on Instagram. They managed to go pretty viral. I think one of them has 1.3 million views. So hopefully when I get it done, we'll top that. But we will see. Alex, not being too personal, are you British? We shared some shoulders in Afghanistan, but we also share some dark humour that few understand. I guess so. I guess so. I'm of Irish descent. I am, but I was born here, so I think that makes me mainly British. But yes. I'll say yes, and it's not too personal question at all, Alex. That is absolutely fine. I don't mind telling you where I'm from. Glenn, did you pick up any bargains in TK Maxx? Just the brushes, Glenn. Just the brushes. Occasionally, I look for things that I can use on the project or use in any of my sort of scenery building. So one that I've got behind here, I can show you guys if you're interested. Some of you might have seen it before if you follow me on Instagram. I did post it a long time ago though. But I will show you. It's much better with that door open. That was a good suggestion by Alex. All right, here we go. Now, usually these are found in what I like to call the tat section of TK Maxx. So, I can't remember who the bust was supposed to be of. I want to say like Alexander the Great, maybe? But this was in the tat section in TK Maxx, and I think I paid like 4 or 5 quid for it. But I still intend to use it on a project, I just don't know which. It was going to be on the Golden Throne, but I feel like that, as cool as it is going to take up too much space. So I think I'll use it on something else. But yeah, it's always good to look for scenery sort of stuff. In fact, I'm just going to leave him here for now. He can watch the rest of the stream. Inhaling fumes and dying on stream. Yeah, that wouldn't be so good. Luckily, we're not using anything that's too heavy on the fumes at the moment. Mainly just the water-based paints, although earlier, when I was working on the bridge, I was using the AK paints, and I'll tell you what, if you leave the pot open of the AK paint for too long, you can definitely start to feel it. So I'd recommend just scooping out the amount you need and closing it. Just a little piece of advice there. The same goes for Dirty Down Rust as well. Dirty Down Rust does have a bit of a pong to it. So I'd recommend opening a window or using a mask. Because if you're using that for a long session, yeah, you might start to get a little bit dizzy. Okay. for any of you who are curious about the rust effect that I posted today, I managed to achieve this mainly with an airbrush. So what I ended up doing was I built my bridge, I undercoated it black, and I worked my way up from like a brown to progressively lighter sort of orangey browns. So I just started out with the brown in my airbrush and kind of diluted it with orange each time. Well, not diluted it, but you know, added orange. And on top of that, something that I've noticed works really well, I can't remember who I seen use this technique, but it was definitely someone else, was dry brushing darker colours onto it. So I dry brushed Rhinox hide, then I dry brushed lead belcher for a little bit of sheen, and then a bit of Abaddon black on the top. And once you've got them on there, it looks really nice and rusty. And the thing that completes it is just your liquid pigments. So you can dilute them with mineral spirit, and they look really, really good. Honestly, I am incredibly happy with how that bridge has turned out. So I'll definitely be replicating that again in future. In fact, if you guys want a better look, because I only showed this off at the beginning of the stream, so I'll give you guys a better look with the shiny new camera. Let's get it in focus. Let's cover my face maybe. I think that's in focus. But yeah, really happy with that. It's a little bit dark at the moment, guys. I'll put another picture on the Discord. For those of you who are new here, you can join the Discord if you so choose. I post pictures of the sort of progress on this project. Much better images sometimes than that dark corner. Even though the camera is fantastic, it picks up all the detail, I just haven't lit that corner of the room up today, which is a little bit stupid. So yeah, I'm going to replicate this effect, I think, on a few more different little bits and pieces around this build. And that's the thing, it's forced me to sort of experiment, this project has, because getting used to working on the Golden Throne, you know, I'm primarily working with gold and a lot of metallics. So on this project, I'm getting to expand my repertoire a little bit. And it's been tempting me for a while, because I like to spend a bit of time when I got some doom scrolling time. I like to look at other people's Necromunda builds on Instagram, and I've seen so many people paint really, really nice rust effects. So I've been wanting to kind of try it myself, and now I've been able to. So we're very nearly near the end of this first half. And then by the time we've done the whole bridge, hopefully we'll be dry and ready to stipple. Do you know what I am going to do to make that a little bit easier? I find that when I use my fat sausage fingers sometimes, it smears it a little bit more, so I'm going to use one of these little makeup sponges. I have a bunch of these, and I find them really, really helpful. I do. Don't know if you guys are familiar with these. It's just a makeup sponge, basically. But when it comes to like using oils and washes and buffing stuff, and kind of like spillages, if you're quick enough, they are very, very helpful. Alex, then the finishing should be celebrated with a squirt of Sexton Irish malt. Just had a sip once, ouch. My range goes to is it Lafrague? Some of my friends think I'm crazy. That's fair enough. You're having your little tipple. It is Friday as well, so you know, watching the stream, having a tipple, fair enough. Oh no, I'm going to close that door, otherwise my dog is going to run here. One sec. Bear with me, guys. I I think my dog just escaped down the garden, so bear with me. I'm going to take this off one sec, guys. Give me a chance to get a drink as well. I'll tell you what, if you guys bear with me for 5 minutes, I will come back and we will continue. Oh, it was the dog. Bear with me, guys. Right, okay, let's try again. Alright, I'm back. Let's get mic'd up. Okay, it's always chaos. Alright, so, the dog tried to escape. Apologies for that. Is DDR the end and... Sorry, is DDR the end and all be all, or do you rather the rust effects? Ooh, a bit of both, to be fair. I am then Gaahler. A bit of both. It depends what you're using it for. I really like Dirty Down Rust for things that aren't going to get handled very much. So I made this smaller Ash Wastes diorama recently, and I pretty much exclusively used Dirty Down Rust for it. For this project that we're doing for Hobby House, I've kind of used your normal sort of Games Workshop paints and AK weathering effects, just because it's going to get handled a bit more, so it won't reactivate, whereas when you use Dirty Down Rust, as good as it is, you can't get it wet, or you can't kind of, I guess, get it greasy, because it'll sort of reactivate. But it is a fantastic product, it really is. But yeah, it's different, you know, it's just depending on what you're going to use it for. So I recommend, if you're handling it loads, paint it in a sort of, I want to say normal method, or just kind of use your basic Games Workshop paints or whatever paints you have. And if you're not going to handle it loads, just use Dirty Down Rust. So yeah, that would be my input for that. All right, let's get back to it. I really threw myself off with that. At least I got a drink now, and the dog is back. But it's yeah, he's so naughty. The dog that we have, our little dog, is really, really naughty, and especially when it's dark, because he hears the foxes and then he just runs down the garden. So he's a pain in the ass. Right, let's get back to it, because we only have a few more of these sort of little grates to do, and then we can start on the other side and hopefully get some stippling down. Just because I want to try and get as much as possible done this stream, just since I got the whole weekend to work on this. Pardon me, it's all that Coke I'm drinking now. Gassy. What's the dog's name? Our dog's name is Barney. We have Barney and we have Gracie. Now Gracie is a bit better behaved. She is a little bit better behaved. But Barney has a mind of his own, and he's very, very naughty. So his callback is really bad. He doesn't listen. He absolutely doesn't listen. So if he runs down the garden and you're trying to get him to come back up and you're calling his name, he will just ignore you and come back when he wants to. So he needs to be trained a little bit better. They're both only young dogs as well, so they're both under 2 years old. But yeah, Barney is very, very naughty. But he did give me an excuse to go and get myself another drink, so it's kind of worked out. Anyway, you're not here for dog content, you're here for some painting. You're here to see this project get finished. And, you know, I'm happy to say that we are getting close to finishing this first section. So hopefully soon we'll be starting up the second one, and we'll have a bunch of streams documenting that build. And some of you will know, as I've mentioned it in previous streams, I have been filming what's been going on behind the scenes when we haven't been online streaming. So there will be a video coming in the next few weeks, hopefully. Just for you guys to see the process behind it. One thing I will say to you guys is, if you enjoy the streams, don't forget to stick a like on them. YouTube really likes your feedback, basically. They like your comments and they like your likes. So if you enjoy this, please consider liking it, just because it helps the reach, helps get out there to a few more people. Slowly but surely we have built this little community up. I think there's about 17 of us on Discord now, which is quite cool. I remember a few months ago, I was probably only streaming to about 3 or 4 people. So the viewership has gradually picked up, which is really nice. And looking forward to expanding our little community, basically. So if you want to help, stick a like. If you want to go a step further, you can become a member. That really helps. That helps me to do more of these and do these for longer. But any support is appreciated, so thank you very much in advance. Right, let's just wipe that off. YouTube likes the likes. It does, Glenn. It really does like the likes. You missed my superhero question. Oh no. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Nihilus only question. What is your favorite type of Pong? A Pong, the classic video game. A Pong, the AK Interactive Rust paints. A Pong Krell, Jedi Master. Ping pong table. Oh, it's going to be the Pong of the AK paints, as bad as that sounds. I'm not good at ping pong. I don't know enough about Star Wars to know who Pong Krelly is, or Pong Krell, and I'm not very good at the video game either, so it's going to have to be the smell of the paint. Not that I'm there constantly huffing the paint, that's not very good at all. Oh, Alex, I'm sorry, I meant the airplane doors open if it's too hot, not... No. You didn't have anything to do with that, Alex. You didn't have anything to do with that. Doggo is not here. Doggo is upstairs, but he managed to push his way past the door that's up there and escape. So that had nothing to do with you, Alex. You don't need to worry yourself. And he's going to be naughty either way, so, you know, it is what it is. That big door still intrigues me to hell and back. I love it. That big door. Are you on about the Big Brain Gate, Alex? The Big Brain Gate still does need a coat of paint. Oh wow, that rhymes. The Big Brain Gate still needs a coat of paint. Yeah, so I'm hoping when we get this project done for Hobby House, we are going to do a little bit more work on the Golden Throne. I want to get this finished first, just because we have a little bit of a... It's not like well, I want to say deadline, because it is a deadline. I have to do this in a slightly more timely manner than I can do on the throne. I'm sure you guys will understand, because the throne has taken 4 years, 3-4 years, and it's not finished. And you know, I can't be working with the lovely guys at Hobby House and saying, oh, it's going to take 4 years. It's going to take 4 years for me to make you a gaming table. That just won't fly. So we're going to get this project done for those guys, and then we're going to spend a little bit more time on the Golden Throne, because we have the gate to paint. We also have, I need to get these pipes done on the ground level of the throne. I also need to finish painting our pipe section. So I don't know how many of you remember when I was streaming painting out or picking out all the details for the pipe work there. So we got loads to do, and we will get back to it, but we've got to do this first. Cool, all right. The good news is though, working on this project has allowed me to pick up some different ways of working. So I've definitely mentioned before that my skills, I think, with an airbrush have improved quite a lot. So when we get back to working on the Golden Throne, I think that's going to speed things up a little bit, because although I was using an airbrush with the Golden Throne, I probably wasn't using it to the best of my ability, I suppose. And now I've got that kind of not expertise, because I'm not an expert, but now I've got that familiarity with it. I think it'll speed things up. So yeah, you know, learning things on this project has definitely helped, and I think in the long run it's really going to help us out with the Golden Throne, because obviously we still have a lot more to do, you know. The Golden Throne is like the magnum opus for me. It's something that I've never set, well, up until last year, never set like a deadline for. I was just kind of working on it in my spare time and getting it done when I could get it done, basically. So working on these other projects, I've got to be realistic and set deadlines for things. Because the idea is to make something a little bit bigger out of this, basically. As all of you know, I'm sure most of you know, I make a little bit of money off of YouTube through doing this, and I would love to be able to spend more time doing it and make bigger projects and stream a bit more. So that can be made viable via you guys tuning in, basically, and me working on a wider range of projects. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, we are very, very nearly there. I feel like I'm getting a little bit more spilly. But going back to the gate, I feel like it's going to look a lot better once we get a base coat, like a sort of stone-esque looking colour on it. Because obviously it's built up, or it's made to look like it's built up with massive concrete blocks. So for the wall section, we will use a kind of stone colour, maybe not grey, maybe more of like a tan kind of, pardon me, kind of stone colour. And then for the base, again, I don't think I'm going to go for gold. I think we're going to mix up a little bit. So I might go for like a lead belcher colour when it comes to the bottom here. And yeah, I think once it's got those kind of basic coats on there, it's going to look a lot better. I'm very much looking forward to it, although I can just see like a little air bubble there, which is bugging me. Now I've noticed. Super fine, you can churn yourself into boredom with doing doing the same all the time. Exactly, you can. I like this bridge and my fingers itch to see the next. Well, thank you, Alex. I do agree with you. I feel like, you know, I've spent a good portion of time on the Golden Throne and I love it and it will be done. But mixing things up I think is healthy for creation. Fragai, hello Fragai, welcome to the stream. How are you doing this evening, Fragai? And the most important, do you know what, Fragai? It was the one thing I did manage to get right this stream. I managed to put the filter on all comments or all messages, but thank you very much for the reminder, Fragai. It's either yourself or Big Brain who always point that out. You guys are lifesavers when it comes to making sure the filter is correct. But today I stood on my own 2 feet like a big boy, and I managed to actually remember to do it. Which is crazy, I know. It's almost like I'm learning with each stream. But yeah, variety is kind of, as corny as it sounds, variety is the spice of life. So the throne has been awesome to work on, but it's definitely been a huge undertaking, which I've said before, I was almost quite naive when I started the Golden Throne, because I'd already built a version of the Golden Throne based on John Blanche's work from 3rd edition. So that was quite a small diorama. That was only the size of 1 Zone Mortalis tile. And after completing that, Neil Roberts put out his artwork for The End and the Death, which was the throne room. And I just felt like I had to try and build it because it looked so epic. But I wanted to kind of put my spin on it. So I wanted to envision his artwork in the 41st millennium, or somewhere in between the Heresy and the 41st millennium. And yeah, it just kind of sent me down a route of 4 years of building this project, getting the pieces for it. And yeah, you know, it's 4 years later and we're still not done. I am but one man with a limited amount of hobby time, but I'm hoping in the future it'll be a bit more viable for me to spend more time working on it. So yeah, you guys haven't seen the last of it. Basically, there will be lots more Golden Throne related content in the future, but for now we are on Necromunda Ash Wastes and Hive City content. Fragai, perfect. I'm good, but Juve number 2 gave me a hard time today. Are you hanging on by a thread, Fragai? Are you tired? It was going to happen. It was inevitable, Fragai. Juve number 2 is gonna give you a little bit of a hard time, but it's okay. You'll get past it. Nihilus only question. Look at I feel very special with these Nihilus only questions. Variety is the spice of life, but what is your favorite spice? Parsley, sage, rosemary, or thyme? Ooh. You're making me think for that one. The first place my mind went to was stuffing and like sage and onion, but I think it's being overruled by parsley. I don't know if you guys have had parsley sauce before, but that is fantastic. And if you want to hear a bit of blasphemy, a lot of people have parsley sauce when they eat seafood. I like parsley sauce with a pie and mash. Parsley sauce with a like steak pie and mash is fantastic. I mean, I could just eat a whole bowl of mashed potatoes and parsley sauce, to be fair. But you have to make it the proper way with cream. Anyone who just mixes milk into powder and calls it sauce, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys, but you're not welcome on stream anymore. If you make sauce, you've got to make it with cream. You can use a little bit of milk, I reckon, if you're using the powders, but cream is the sound is a little bit off today. Have we shouldn't have disconnected. How's everyone else finding the sound, or is this just a Fragai problem, or is this because I thought I'd managed to get the microphone set up correctly today. I don't know if it's too loud, maybe. I can always adjust the decibels. How about now? Is that any better, Fragai? Some streams leave the chat to talk to themselves. You have many other things to do but interact with us, no matter the bonkers thing coming up. Do you know what, Alex? I like it though. I like it because I worry sometimes that I'm just regurgitating the same thing over and over again. So it kind of teases my brain a little bit and makes me think, which is nice. Because I want these streams to be entertaining for you. I don't want to be telling you every little individual thing I'm doing. I want a nice balance of talking you through what we're working on, what the plans are, what's going on in my noggin. But I like it when you guys kind of tell me about other things, ask me questions. Because it's kind of a hangout as well. You know, this isn't just mutually like, this isn't just exclusively, sorry, me doing stuff. For me, I kind of consider this like a hangout with people who enjoy the same hobby as me. You know, because I have like one friend who's into Warhammer, but when I'm streaming with you guys, I just get to, you know, catch up with you guys, chat about Warhammer, chat about other stuff, and I find it really enjoyable. So yeah, you know, I know what you're saying though, Alex. I know what you're kind of leaning into there. But yeah, I do kind of like it. I do kind of like it. Now it's really low. Okay, let's go back up. What about now? Oh, that's too loud, is it? Let's try there. Let's try there. That sounds like a happy medium. Yeah, I think we're sunked. I think the microphone is working today, so I don't know if anyone else is having any issues with it. But as long as you can hear me and it's not too bad. Sound is okay, King of the Dead says. Now it's really low. Okay, are we back on track? I'm gonna try not to fiddle with it too much, otherwise I feel like I'm gonna make it worse. So we'll not do any more with the sound, unfortunately. Because I want you guys to be able to hear me. And now we have this shiny new mic set, courtesy of Steve. I want to make the most of it. The quality is so much better than what I was using before. It's really nice to be able to not have to shout all the time. It's okay now. Okay, cool beans. We will keep it at that, I think, guys. We will keep it at that. And we are very nearly done with this section now. I probably said that like 20 times, but we are. We've only got a few more grates to fill in, and then we can move forward again. Just load up this brush. Cool. Right, let me dab a wee bit off. Might just top these ones up a tiny bit more. That one could do a little bit more. Missed the pot there. There we go. There's some of that excess. Alright, cool. So we are pretty much done with that section now, I think. I didn't bypass that one, did I? No, I didn't think so. Okay, cool. So that's good. We have at least reached the halfway point, which means I can move our temporary bridge out of the way. Find somewhere to put it. But yeah, tomorrow I will also be working on the railings for it. The railings from the Zone Mortalis set have come in really handy for this. One of the box sets that Toby provided me with for this build was the, what is it? It's not called the Hive City, it's like, I feel like it's called Underhive something, but basically it comes with a bunch of sprues for Zone Mortalis, stairs, you've got the stairs, you've got the lift thing, you've got the walls, and you've got the little gribblies. So, what I have done is I have taken out these little gribbly bits, these sections, which are really, really cool. I've decided not to go with a rust effect for these ones. What I've done is sprayed them red, and I'm going to apply some chipping. Let me bring them over actually so I can visualize this. But yeah, it's just to kind of add a bit of color. I could, if I wanted to, have gone with like a rust effect, but I feel like the red is going to make them pop a little bit more. So the idea is to have, for this small section, we'll probably just have the red on one side. And then you can imagine that once that section, once the railings are all kind of chipped and oil washed, they're going to blend in really well with the rust. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing with these temporary walkway bridges. And that is a job for tomorrow. What do we have in chat? Tested it on 2 high-quality headphones. Sounds like oversteering. Oversteering. I'm not sure what oversteering is, Frag Eye. Again, I'm a bit of a simpleton when it comes to the mic stuff. I am. Is it the? I've got it on 100 decibels. If I put it on, does that change it? Does that sound a little bit? That's 0 decibels. I don't know. Nihilist only question: do you prefer mayonnaise or parsley sauce for the steak pie? It's got to be the parsley sauce for the pie, Glenn. You know I like my mayonnaise, but it's got to be the parsley sauce. It does. What also, just to interject there, what does that sound like for you, Frag Eye? I've mixed I put it on 0 decibels. I don't know whether that is going to help us out at all. King of the Dead, will you use the Universal Greeble anywhere on your build? The Universal Greeble? What is the Universal Greeble, King of the Dead? Enlighten me with that one, because that's gone over my head a little bit. Universal Greeble. If I'm going to take a guess at what a Universal Greeble would be, I'd say it was like a barrel. Because I feel like every terrain build you've got to have some Imperial barrels. Or the ones from 3rd edition, because I feel like they're still everywhere. I think you can change the mic back to the setting. That did not make the sound any better. Okay, let's just... I think, guys, we're just going to stick with 100. There we go. I think we're going to stick with that. I don't know what the oversteering is. I'm not very good at balance and stuff like that, so it might be an issue with that. But as long as you guys can hear me, it's way worse. Oh no, it's not. It's not better. Okay, it should be better now, hopefully, or it should be at least back to what we were before. So I think we'll leave it at that. I feel like too much fiddling is gonna mess it up. But what I will do, I don't think he's here at the moment, but what I'm going to do is, Toby has been helping me a lot with this equipment, this brand new equipment. So I might ask what his opinion is and see if he can point me in the right direction, because he has been a lifesaver at the moment. He has really helped me get this live stream set up. So big shout out to Toby, Torhammer. I am in Garrett. It's better. This is better now. It's better again, but still there. Well, as long as you can hear me, Frag Eye. It might not be the best at the moment, but as long as you can hear me. And I feel like it's not too bad for everyone else. Maybe you've just got keener ears, Frag Eye. Maybe you've got a real keen set of ears. Glenn, oversteering is when you turn the car steering wheel and the tyres react too much. I watch a lot of Top Gear, but I'm not driving, guys. I'm not driving. It's the mic. Is it too good? Is it just picking up everything that I'm doing? Is it picking up every little squeak? Is it picking up my my every movement? King of the Dead, the Universal Greeble is the A19 from Hasegawa's 172 scale World War II German Leopold railgun. It was produced in the 70s. It shows up in most sci-fi movies and television series. You're gonna have to put that on the Discord, King of the Dead, because that's interested me, and I've never actually heard that before. That's the first time I'm hearing of it. So maybe put a picture on the Discord. I've got the hiccups now, that's going to help for the mic. Oversteering is the wrong term. In English it would be clipping. Well, I'll tell you what, after this stream, Frag Eye, I will, well, I probably won't ask Toby straight away because it's getting a little bit late, But tomorrow I will ask him and see what he thinks and see if he's got any recommendations. Because I do want to gradually... I feel like the stream has improved a lot actually since our last sort of camera and the last equipment we had. But I would like to get it to a stage where it's, you know, pretty flawless for you guys. Obviously I want you to enjoy the stream and enjoy a high quality stream. So if there's any way I can do that, I will certainly try my best. Alex, I know we can't control the wind, but some dioramas look great if you have the same wind direction. On one side they are sandblasted, on the other there is still paint. That's well, yeah, that makes sense, Alex, and that probably would look very cool. I can understand how that would work. I think what we have to do though, especially with these builds that are a little bit quicker than the Golden Throne, is make sure that we don't go too crazy. Just because if I had the time, right, if I had the time, I would do stupid little details, and that's kind of what I ended up doing on the Golden Throne. But because I was building that for me, it was kind of a non-issue because I could just spend as much time as I wanted on it. But since we are building these tables for Hobby House, they are gonna, you know, they are gonna want them sooner than 4 years, and they're gonna want people to be able to play on them. So, but I know what you mean, Alex. I certainly know what you mean. Frageye, when? Frageye, when what? When have they got to be done by, Frageye? When are you asking me? I'm Ethan, oh, look at me. I'm Ethan Garrett. Oh yeah, mic gain might be set too high. It's clipping occasionally. Mic gain. Do you guys know how I would change that at all? If one of you guys know how I could change that, because I'm working through OBS at the moment, so I don't know how the not sure how the mic gain works. But if I don't sort it out this stream, guys, I will ask Toby tomorrow and see what he thinks, and see if there's any way I can remedy it. Because I am worried I will make it a little bit worse. Like I say, I'm not the best with technology, but I'm sure it's something we can come up with a solution for. There's a sponge. That's looking much better. It is definitely looking much better, and it's only kind of a little detail in the grand scheme of things. Filling these grates with some Nuln Oil isn't particularly like a major job, but it certainly does add to the quality of the overall build and how it looks. I'm sorry, try to explain in English while tired. Ethan did it for me. That's all right, Frageye. The mic gain might be set too high. I tell you what, I'm going to save what Ethan has said, and I will bring that up tomorrow, and I'll have a little look after the stream and see what I can find out. Because I feel like I managed to set it up a few streams ago and we didn't really have any clipping issues or any sort of microphone issues. But maybe have the mic a little further. Oh, maybe. Oh, I haven't really got anything else to clip it on from to for a guy. What if we put it on the other side of me? What if we put it there? How does that sound? Yeah, again, there's a lot of experimenting. I'm trying to think of how many times we've had to readjust something on the streams we've done in the past. There certainly has been a lot of readjusting and figuring things out. But I like to think it gets better each time. I like to think, looking back to when I'd done a few streams, God, it must have been early last year. Sounds good to me. Okay, well, that's good. So we're not all having issues, but there's a couple. Yeah, when I look back anyway at streaming the beginning of last year, I think, because I did end up stopping for a little while just because I didn't have a space to work in for a little bit. It was rather crowded in here, and there was no internet in here, so it's only recently I got internet. But yeah, looking back at those streams, I feel like the quality has certainly improved, and definitely in the last. Sorry, I heard a bird outside, and I was like, "What was that noise?" Certainly in the last few weeks now, since we've got this new equipment, I feel like the quality has definitely improved. Oh, sweet. So it was just too close to my mouth, guys. I was just too close to my mouth. I think it's because I had it right under my chin, so you could probably hear my heavy breathing as well. All right, cool. That's that's good to know, at least. That's very good to know. Adam Savage from Tested talked about this German railgun and how many things they used from it. Battleships and armor. Some make him God, but easy now. Good advice is always welcome. Is this a German railgun? Is this isn't related to the Perfect Greeble, is it? This isn't going back to the Perfect Greeble comment. I don't know much about railguns. The only thing I know is that it's like very, very powerful. I don't know are they feasible in terms of weaponry? Are railguns useful? Well, except when I move to my left. Oh no. I have to stay in one place for our guy. It's an owl! Glenn, you can hear it! This mic is pretty good. If it can pick that up, it's pretty good. It sounded like a naughty phone call, says Glenn. Oh dear. Yeah, I feel like the mic must be pretty damn good if it picked up that owl. Do you know what I think I need for the mic? Or what I could do, right, is I could wear a button-up shirt, because then I could stick the mic in the pocket and it wouldn't be too close to me. So, you know, maybe I just got to wear button-up shirts. King of the Dead. Adam used to work for ILM and built quite a lot of models for Star Wars Act. I have found STLs of it, and it could be fun to add as a detail on something in the future. Okay. Well, I'm up for it. The only thing I don't have access to, unfortunately, is a 3D printer. But if there is something, I know someone who does, who might print it off for me. Also, I think Frageye is working on a sad chair for our build. He is. He's modelling us a sad chair that we're going to feature in this build. Yes, this is about the universal... See, there are some things I'm just so out of the loop with, it's unbelievable. I'm looking forward to reading about this, actually, and having a little look. Because I feel like I may have heard it mentioned once before, but, you know, when you don't investigate. So I'd like to find out a little bit more about that. The Traitor Guardsman is a cannon on a train carriage. Ooh, that rings a bell. It's not that massive cannon, is it? That absolutely gargantuan one. The Orange Banana, heck yeah, sad chair, I know, sad chair is going to feature in the build. Frageye says it's nearly done. It's nearly done, I'm looking forward to this, it's going to be awesome. I can't remember which one of you it was that started this, but one of you has basically birthed sad chair into existence. I can't remember if it was Toby. It might have been Toby. I feel like it was Toby or Frageye. King of the Dead, I added a link to an article on the Discord. Thank you, King of the Dead. I will have a look at that when I'm chilling this evening after the stream. I will take a gander at that. Frag chair, sad chair. It's a massive cannon, not the most bonkers one. Oh, I don't know if I have seen a picture of it then. I think I'm thinking of, is it the World War II one that's the massive, like, German one that could fire, like, quite a few miles? I don't know if it ever got used, the one I'm thinking of, but I know it was, like, one of those massive pieces of weaponry. Well, I tell you what, talking about bonkers machinery and bonkers weaponry, the Hive City is going to have some pretty bonkers weaponry. Obviously we're going to have those two turrets from the Fortress of Redemption, but I'm thinking of sticking like another big cannon on there. I don't know if you guys are familiar with, way back in 3rd edition there is a John Blanche piece buried somewhere in the rulebook, and it has like one of the platforms on like a hive city or some kind of fortress, and there's a big fat off cannon on that, and I have been kind of toying with that idea for a little while. Obviously it can't be, you know, it can't be like ridiculously big because we are limited somewhat, but I feel like a big cannon could look really cool. And it wouldn't be hard to find something to represent the cannon. It wasn't me, since Frag wasn't me. Oh. Germany had a few large cannons on rails. Yeah, I'm just going to have to look at it, King of the Dead. I'm going to have to look at the Universal Greeble. Universal Greeble. I feel like I'm learning something every day. Alright, so let's get this. I tell you what, I need another drink. I need another drink. I can probably open this door again though, actually, as well, can't I? Because it's getting damn warm. You'd expect it to get a little bit cooler, but it's really not. Okay, there we go. Oop, I just walked into the door. It's a good thing you guys didn't see that. Yeah, cool. Alright, let's get a drink and then we will continue with the bridge. We will endeavour to get some more done. Okay, what have we got? Ethan Gower. Ask the buddy who streams says the gain setting should be one of the mixer settings. Ask the buddy who streams says the gain setting should be one of the mixer settings in OBS. The gain setting should be one of the mixer settings in OBS. Let's just have a little look. Let's have a little look. Do you know what? I think I'm going to have a look after the stream. I'm going to save what you've said there, Ethan. But I'm not going to look at it now because I feel like I'm gonna mess it up. All right, Alex. The Leopold K5 280mm railway gun was more efficient than the 2-track Sherwood Gustav. Only 1 track. A famous one was the Anzio Annie that hammered the Allied invasion of in Italy. I feel like you are very, very well versed with your history, Alex. It's pretty astounding, actually. I feel like we're going to go down a rabbit hole of railway guns now. Frag, either in OBS or in Windows. Yeah, I'm going to have a look. What I'm going to do, I think, is I'll watch some of the audio back for this stream, and then I will have a little play around. Because if I do it on the stream, I'm definitely going to mess it up. It's quite a bit bonkers what they made for the war back then. Yeah, I feel like they kind of went for it. It was like an all or nothing kind of thing with the weaponry, but I swear loads of the bigger ones didn't even get used. I feel like there's 2 massive guns in the mountains somewhere. Like, is it Switzerland, I want to say? No, it's not Switzerland. It's not Switzerland. It's somewhere, is it somewhere in Scandinavia that they've got these massive guns built into the mountains from World War II? And they never even fired them. Because they were built for defense, but nothing happened up there, I don't think. All good. Streams behave like a house of cards sometimes. Change one thing and it all explodes. That's what I'm worried about, Ethan. That is exactly what I'm worried about. But I'm certainly going to take a look at the mixing and see if there's something that I can do to improve it. I feel like sometimes it plays up and sometimes it doesn't, because when I set up the mic for the... when I set up this mic for the first stream that I used it, I feel like the audio was really good. Didn't have too many complaints about the audio. But today I feel like it's playing up for a few of you, which is a little bit of a shame. Nihilist only question: what is your favourite type of owl? Brown owl, barn owl, snowy owl, or tawny owl? Ooh, let's go with a snowy owl. I feel like that's the owl that I've seen the most recently. I went to a zoo farm with my partner recently, and we've seen a bunch of birds, and I remember seeing like a snowy owl, so I'm going to say snowy owl, although I think they all look kind of cool. I believe both of Switzerland and parts of Atlantic Wall, coast of Norway, Denmark, Germany first. Yeah, okay, so it might be quite a few places, but I just remember fairly recently on some kind of, I don't know if it was on the TV in the background, they were talking about these massive guns, and they said, oh yeah, they never actually got fired. And I want to say they were painted white, the ones that I've seen. Like after the war, they just kind of painted them white and left them there. They also forgot about 40% of their bunkers. Yeah. Loads of them are falling into the sea now, aren't they? Like loads of the bunkers that were built as the coastal defence, obviously where the ground has eroded over the years since the war, like some of them are just on the beach now. Oh, Fraggai, I live next to the Swiss Maginot line. There's a lot of history out there. It's very interesting. And I'll be going to Switzerland in about 2 weeks now. Be going to Zurich. A much needed long weekend, a getaway. It means I need to speed up and get things done for this project. It does, because that weekend I'm not going to get any Warhammer stuff done, because I'm going to be exploring Switzerland. Should we take some bets this evening, guys? Should we take a few bets? Who reckons we're going to see Big Brain this evening? Who reckons we're going to see him? So when we streamed on Wednesday, I was like, it's going to be the first stream we don't see Big Brain. It's going to be the first stream he's not here. And he did turn up. He turned up for a little bit, but he was there. But I reckon this is going to be his first one away. That's 1 hour away from me. Not too far for a guy. I'd say catch up with you, but I've got quite a heavy itinerary in Switzerland because we're trying to fit so much into the 2 days that we're there. But maybe in the future. I'd like to have some kind of event that hopefully some of you can make it to for for the scenery stuff. Well, in fact, I don't know what I'm saying. We are doing one. We are doing one for we're doing one with Hobby House. We are. So hopefully, I might get to see some of you then. He will come. I believe in him. He usually does. He's pretty good. He tends to be here without fail most of the time, but I won't hold it against him if he's not here today. You know, he's here like 99% of the time, so I can't hold it against him. Trader Guardsman, have you done... Oh, I'm getting rid of that. Have you done any of the ruined city of Mordheim? I haven't, Trader Guardsman. I do like the idea of Necromunda. I do like the idea of Mordheim, but I don't really know that much about it. I'm not up on my Warhammer Fantasy or Mordheim kind of stuff. I do think it's very cool. And anyway, actually, since you mentioned Mordheim, since this table that we're creating is going to Hobby House, they don't need a Mordheim board because they already kind of have this massive table. I think I put some pictures on Instagram, but they've got like a kind of Mordheim themed table where you've got like 3-story buildings, 4-story buildings, you've got portcullis, you've got sewers. So that's one thing that I probably won't need to build. So it's funny that you mentioned that. You just have to stream longer. I do have to stream longer. I do. I'm just going to close this door a minute because I worry I'm being too loud. Look at me trying to be considerate. Trying to be a good neighbour. I'm sure my neighbours don't want to be up till 10:30 hearing me talk about Warhammer. I know you guys do. Alex, of course it's tragic, but modelers also keep the history alive. We build modern armor and sci-fi, but we keep it in the back of our minds, have fun, but never again. Yeah, Alex. That's a very considerate way of thinking about it. I like that. I like that thought process. I think that's a very good and healthy way of thinking about it. Because obviously those tragedies and that history has influenced how we design like our sci-fi models and stuff like that. So I really appreciate that train of thought. Trader Guardsman, it's old world fantasy Necromunda. No, I know, I kind of know what it is, Trader Guardsman, but I don't know too much of like the lore and history and stuff behind it. So I'm familiar with it, the kind of skirmish game, and I remember some of the gangs, like the Carnival of Chaos. I mainly remember that one because the miniatures looked really cool. What else did you have? You had the kind of, what are they? Marienburgers? But yeah, I kind of know what it is, I just don't know that much about it. The Orange Banana, you never know, they might want to hear you speak about Warhammer. Now, I've met my neighbours, the Orange Banana, I can guarantee you they don't want to hear about Warhammer. They don't look like the Warhammer type. Not that there is a Warhammer type, but you know what I mean. I think they're well past caring about toy soldiers. I want my neighbours to. Maybe you need to come and live next to me, the Orange Banana, and then you can see the stream live. You can sit out in your garden and listen to me. Okay, let's crack on with this. I really do want to get this shaded for tomorrow. Let's try and speed it up a little bit. Also not make... there is a great Gotrek and Felix story about Mordheim. I think I have a Gotrek and Felix story. That's reminded me. I think I have one that came with the Black Library app. Because they gave me a few books and audiobooks when I joined quite a few months ago now. And I think one of them is a Gotrek and Felix story, potentially. Might be wrong about that. On the sad chair, yeah, you can borrow a sad chair. You can borrow a sad chair and watch me stream, because I'm going to be stood up for this whole stream. I'm going to be burning calories all stream. But I don't particularly mind, because if you guys seen me working on the project today, I was just sat down the whole time. And I've been working on the project for at least 4 or 5 hours, just working on that bridge. Working on the bridge on a bridge. So it's kind of nice to stand up for a little bit. Let's just get this in there. It's probably the most difficult part, is in between these sections you have a really long grate, which kind of stretches the whole way across. That one's probably the one that's the biggest pain in the ass to paint. So we'll just get that out of the way, sweep up the excess. We're good to go. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to starting the second portion of this build. So obviously working with these HAB units, I haven't done that before yet, so this is going to be a kind of whole new scenario. I think I have one to hand here. Look, hidden away here. So this is what we are going to be working with. This is one of the things that we are going to be working with. There's also the double one as well, the double wide HAB module, so we're going to be using that as well. And then there's a load of loose bits that Toby's given me too, so there's going to be lots of HAB units and lots of interesting stuff going on. I really hope they add a story where Gotrek speaks to someone called Gordon and he's surprised to find him alive. Is that a hint? Is that a hint, King of the Dead? Is that something going on? Alex, I remember when companies banned well-known German emblem on planes, armour, ships. Why? Oh, we just forget everything. I know Germans, don't hate them. Well, it's a difficult one, isn't it? It's a difficult one, Alex. I'm not really sure how much to go into that, to be fair. But yeah, I think we'll politely gloss over that one, just because I feel like we'll open a can of worms if we start talking about the iconography and the stuff that went along with World War II. Oh, apologies, that was a really big slip. Gotrek is voiced by Brian Blessed in many audiobooks. I didn't know that. I did not know that. I'm really enjoying, though, the guy who narrates, and it's really bad that I don't know his name. I should probably find out what his name is. But narrating the Caiaphas Cain books, so the voice of Caiaphas Cain and kind of most of the other voices as well. His voice acting is fantastic. Like, he makes me really like the character, and I know obviously he's got all his flaws, but it's just so entertaining. You know, he is so entertaining. It got to the point where I actually listened to the anthology, the Caiaphas Cain anthology. I've listened to it twice because he just makes the stories so interesting. Well, that and the stories are interesting. Just because I feel like the anthology, being all the little stories and more bite-sized, it keeps you hooked. You know, I've listened to the longer ones as well, like the full-on book Caiaphas Cain novels. But the anthology is really good. And I feel like if you guys haven't listened to the anthology and you want to try one of the Caiaphas Cain books, maybe just start with the anthology. It really got me hooked. It's the whole reason that I have. I've got 4 books in total. Granted, they are audiobooks because I know they're just nice to listen to while I'm chilling in the evening. But I've listened to 3 out of 4 of them now, and it was all because of the anthology. I enjoyed the anthology so much that I was like, you know what? I am gonna try some of the other Caiaphas Cain books. The Traitor Guardsman, will you be putting propaganda posters and graffiti on the building and the bridge? Do you know what? I already have some propaganda posters, Traitor Guardsman. I'm not sure how well you guys are going to be able to see them from here, but I'll show you which general vicinity they're in. Okay, you can probably just about see them. So I tried out a few on the pillars down here, on this little dome, ruined dome. And we're probably going to have a few more dotted around, probably the bottom of the columns, and then maybe some kind of strewn about on the ground, but I'm trying not to go too much with it, you know, I'm trying not to be overkill. Pardon me. In terms of graffiti, I'm not too sure. I might do. I think what I want to do for the time being is just kind of get all these details out of the way and move on with the second section of the build, because I can always kind of revisit if I have time. Just come back and do little things, like if I feel like it needs some graffiti or some other little bits. But I kind of want to move on to the next one now, just because eventually we have to build the hive wall, and that's going to be the most time-consuming one. So we need to speed it up a little bit. Frank, I'm just listening to the latest book from Kane. Which one is the latest book? Because I got loads to do. There's so many Kane books. Wasn't the anthology for free limited time when the Black Library app came out? It was, Fraggai, and they really got me with that. James Workshop really got me good with that, because initially I wasn't too bothered. I was like, oh, okay, you know, it's just another thing they want me to pay for, they want me to get, yada yada yada. But I'd done it because they gave you like 5 or 6 free books. Definitely worth it, just for downloading it, because you didn't have to do anything, you just downloaded it and you use your existing Warhammer account, and yeah, you get the books. But one thing I will sing their praises for, and I'm sure like Audible or something have done this in the past, but they have the monthly offers. So you can get an audiobook for like £7 something if you like one of the monthly offers, and it's really good, because the last month's one was another Kane book, so I ended up scooping that for £7. So yeah, I kind of can sing my praises. We'll sing the praises of the Black Library app, because I do think it is pretty damn good. King of the Dead, it might be there was one Gotrek book at that time too. The voice actor for Kane is Stephen Perring, that's his name, Stephen Perring. Vainglorious, I will get to that one as well, Fraggai. I am just... What am I just finishing off? I've got it on here actually. I don't know why I'm like squinting, because I can just find out here. Because I have the app, I have the Black Library app on my phone. So, it is For the Emperor. I am nearly done with For the Emperor. I have done Choose Your Enemies, and I have done Traitor's Hand. So I've still got a bunch of other Kane books to do, but they were really good, and I am really enjoying For the Emperor. So yeah, I recommend to anyone. I can't believe it took me so long to listen to the Kane stuff as well, because I've known about it for years and years and years, but I guess it's just because it's more accessible to me now that I can properly listen to them. King of the Dead, I have issues with the move to app-only distribution of EPUB, Black Library, unless bought by other libraries such as Amazon Kindle. Yeah, I know there is a lot of the shenaniganery, we'll call it. I know it wasn't particularly great for people who were listening on Audible, so I can't speak to that. I don't think limiting how customers can get your product is a very good way. I don't think it's very good for sort of competition. It's trying to like rule the ecosystem, which yes, I don't agree with. What I do like was getting the books for free, basically. I know that's kind of how they tempt you in. But yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, King of the Dead. I don't think limiting it and taking the books off, because that's what they did, wasn't it? They took the books off of, was it Audible or something like that? I don't think that was good. I feel like giving your customers choice is the best thing you can do as a company. I'm looking forward to that wall. The things behind you make... Pardon me. I'm looking forward to that wall. The things behind you it makes me a bit, come on. Alex wants that wall. Alex is looking at the gate behind, and he's looking at these other walls that I've slaved over, and he's like, you know what? I want to see the best bit first. Well, you will, Alex. I will not disappoint you. We will be working on the walls eventually, and I think you're going to like my ideas for them. I know I'm doing a lot of back patting, doing too much back patting this stream, but I've had some time to think about it. So the process has kind of worked out, because obviously with this bridge section and the broken dome and kind of the bridge on the bridge, because it's a simpler aspect of the build, it's been a little bit easier for me to work on and think about other things, because as we ramp up, as we build the Ash Waste Nomads camp, that's going to have more details, so it's going to require a bit more thought, which I've managed to put the time into. And then once we get past that, obviously the wall, there's a lot more logistics behind the wall. So this way of working has given me time to think about the next thing and the next thing after that, which is quite good, as opposed to starting with the wall, which is going to be pretty labour intensive, and then working our way down to this Ash Waste Bridge section. It's been better to work up as opposed to work down. So I hope you guys kind of understand the thought process behind that. But I know it's probably a little bit frustrating not seeing the wall first, because that's going to be probably the coolest part. The Traitor Guardsman, will a Count Pinface miniature be added to the diorama? Oh, I know you can get one, can't you? Hasn't someone 3D printed one? Was it Midwinter done one? I feel like I've seen a Binface come up somewhere, a Count Binface miniature. We could have Count Binface. I don't think there's going to be any miniatures permanently on this, because obviously it's going to be a gaming board. But we will feature Sad Chair, so I know that's probably a bit of a meme that's limited to us, as like a group of 17 people on the Discord. But at least it'll be one kind of reference, I suppose. Frag, it took a guy on GitHub 5 minutes to write code to get all the books from the Black Library apps as a PDF. That's crazy. There are some tech wizards. Honestly, it's all magic to me. I'm just a dumbass. It's all magic to me. I'm quite happy sat here painting my terrain, chatting with you guys. What else we got? King of the Dead. Breaking the Black Library application to extract files would not be considered illegal. That is a very valid point. I do not endorse this behaviour. What else do we have? Diet Orange Banana. Woo! Feet Sad Chair is a must. That's a pretty hardcore for a guy for him to get the code. I'm pretty tech illiterate as it goes as well. Yeah, that's the thing. I didn't pay attention in IT. I feel like if I probably paid more attention to my computer IT lessons, I feel like I'd probably be a bit more literate with tech. I am learning though. The thing is, I've been forced to learn, obviously with doing the streams and making videos and stuff. When I started making videos on YouTube, I didn't really have a clue what I was doing. And to some extent I still don't, but I can do things a bit quicker and in more of a timely manner. And I like to think that I'm learning as I progress. So it can be done. You know, if I can do this, any of you guys can do it. But it's looking like you guys can already do it and I'm learning to do it. Alex, I know already getting some good ideas from you. Nice when people's minds are not restricted. Let it fly sometimes. As I said, I'm not lore accurate, so love it. Excellent, Alex. Yeah, well, I mean, what we're trying to do really is provide the wonderful folks at Hobby House with a nice, interesting board to play on and to offer to customers, basically, to come and have a few games, come and hang out. And the thought process behind it actually is something that me and the folks at Hobby House all agree on. Is kind of the spectacle of Warhammer, so making boards that convince people to play, basically. You know, they make you want to play. So kind of compared it to how when I was young, I went up to Warhammer World, and one of the things that always stuck with me, and still does, probably why I do this now, is seeing all the amazing boards, you know, being in the main hall and seeing all the amazing gaming tables that they had to offer. And it really stuck with me as a kid, because I remember at the time I went, they had some of the Imperial Sector scenery, I believe, like it had just come out or had recently been released. But they were also working with like quite old scenery and a lot of stuff that they built themselves. So I remember seeing this one kind of cathedral that they built, and it was built exclusively out of 3rd edition ruins. So you know, there's 4 different pieces I think that came out with this with 3rd edition. the kind of church corners or the cathedral corners. And what they'd done is they managed to kind of chop and change things, and they made this massive cathedral that was painted white. And I remember just looking at it with such awe, thinking, oh, I'd love to build something like that. And I think it had quite a detrimental effect on my hobby and what I wanted to achieve. And yeah, basically we want to kind of bring that back to hobbying. You know, we want people to have scenery to play on that they really enjoy. Obviously for like tournaments and stuff, you kind of have your certain scenery that you have to have for competitive. But what we want to do is bring back the narrative play for things and just have very, very immersive terrain as well as your competitive terrain. So for those of you guys who want casual gameplay and to get really immersed in your games of 40k and Necromunda, that's what we want to provide, and that's what I am striving my best to provide at the moment. So yeah, that's kind of the thinking behind it. It's not purely about building massive things for the sake of it. It's more encouraging people to immerse themselves in the world of 40k. Fragga, I mean, when you buy the books, but at least you guys are still talking about the the files. You guys are still talking about the book files. Fragga, well, now you build stuff exactly like it. Well, I'm very lucky that I'm in a position to be able to do that, to be fair, Fragga. I do love what I do. Obviously, this isn't my main job. I would love it to be my main job. I would be so happy just doing this all of the time. You cannot believe. But one of the things is trying to make this, you know, a bit more viable for me to be able to spend more time doing things like this, as well as I guess you could call it entertaining you guys. I'm not sure whether my content always comes across as entertaining. I feel like sometimes it comes across as very, very bumbling, but I think you guys know what I'm aiming for. Because obviously when this is done, you know, we are going to do a little bit more work on the Golden Throne as well. We do need to push that forward, because I think I owe that to you guys. We've got to get that done. And I owe it to myself after spending 4 years on it. But hopefully moving forward, working with Hobby House, we'll be able to provide different tables as well. So, you know, 1 minute, well, 1 minute, it's going to be more than a minute, but, you know, we'll be working on Ash Waste board, and then we'll be working on something else. So yeah, hopefully it'll keep you guys interested watching the different projects as they are created too. King of the Dead, I hadn't planned on painting anything today, but I did. Added 1 layer on some rope on the new Custodes shield captain. Well done, King of the Dead. Honestly, who was I talking to about this the other day? Which one of you was it? My memory is failing me. But even if you do a little bit of painting, basically, if you're watching the stream, you're just listening to the stream in the background, even if you do just the tiniest bit of painting, it makes your next session, makes your next session a little bit easier because you've already done something, you know? So well done to you. Those Custodes were looking good as well, King of the Dead. I do enjoy seeing what you guys are working on. Gives me a little bit of encouragement as well. The Orange Banana, I look forward to seeing stuff and projects. The Bridge and a Waste are looking fantastic. I really appreciate that, The Orange Banana. I'm really glad you guys are enjoying it. It's nice to have the regular faces turn up and have you guys on stream. The Orange Banana, I have to retire to bed now, but thank you for a great stream. Well, thank you for a great stream, The Orange Banana. Like I say, it's you guys who help make the streams interesting as well. It's me hanging out with you guys, just talking about Warhammer. But enjoy your weekend, The Orange Banana. Thank you for joining us this evening. We will see you soon. Okay. Let's try and get this last bit. We're on the last little bit. Done a wee bit too much talking, I think, for the last, like, 20 odd minutes or so. But we're definitely getting to where we need to be. Try to speed it up a little bit without being too messy. We've got an early start tomorrow as well, guys. I'll be up at about 6 o'clock tomorrow. I'm going to use that to my advantage. So my partner is going to work, but yours truly here is going to be working on this project. And I think I'm going to seize the opportunity to just get started really early. I think I'm just going to come down to the studio and get stuck in. So I can really see it coming together now. Right, so it's already 10:30. It's already 10:30. I feel like the time flies. So when we started doing these streams and I was hanging out with you guys, it felt like it lasted a lot longer, starting at 8 o'clock and then going till 10:30 most of the time. It felt like it wouldn't go by too quickly, but the more and more that we've been doing these streams, the time just flies by. Oof, that's a bit too early. It's not too early for me, Fraggy, not to get started on this. Sometimes, I tell you what, when I've got an idea, when I've really got an idea or I am into the groove with something, I will wake up early and do it and just get stuck in. Because, I don't know, I get kind of excited about what I'm doing, I just want to continue working on it. I had quite a few bursts like that when I was working on the Golden Throne. So I'd be up early just working on it, painting it. And I've had it a few times with this build already, and I think tomorrow we're just going to do the same. Since we're in a bit of a flow state with it, everything is, touch wood, going as it should. 11:30 here, so late enough. Paint late, start early. No, it's getting there though. It's definitely getting there. But I just want to kind of get this section done, because then it's just ready for me to crack on with some stippling tomorrow. So that's why I just want to kind of push through, even if it involves me speeding up slightly. It's going to be awful for my posture though. I even stand like this now. Too much leaning over this. Okay, let's tidy that up a little bit. Alex acknowledged it's 11:30 here in Denmark. Early, but we'll be looking for you again. Thank you, Alex. We'll be back we will be back on, what are we on now? Friday. I'll be back streaming on Sunday. I will. Although I have thought about when I've got days where I'm not digging holes, I'm thinking about running some streams in the day. I know that this might not be viable for you guys, obviously, because you guys are kind of my evening crowd. But I'm thinking about running some streams in the day just to see what happens, basically. Because I'm going to be working on the project either way, so I suppose it doesn't really matter whether a camera is rolling or not. Ethan, got to wrap up at work. Cheers, guys. Thank you for stopping by, Ethan. It's nice to have you here on the stream. Hopefully see you in another one. I think most of you guys tuned in now know that we've got a bit of a regular schedule, I think, when it comes to streaming. So Wednesdays, Fridays and Sundays are the streaming days of choice. We usually start about 8 o'clock BST. and usually go to about 10:30, but tonight I'm just trying to get a little bit more done, as I said, just so we can start fresh tomorrow and just start stippling. So it's just something else I don't have to worry about. King of the Dead. Depending on when you stream, I could have it on in the background and work, which could be nice. That would be cool. King of the Dead, because I feel like it's going to be potentially a different crowd. A crowd might not even be a crowd. Might just be you, King of the Dead. But yeah, I feel like it's an opportunity to maybe invite some new faces into the community, because obviously the different time zones we have around the globe. Some of our friends across the pond will be tuned in at different times. And as I said, I'm going to be working on the project either way, so I feel like if a camera's on, it's not really going to make too much difference. So I'm thinking of giving it a try. Probably not for a little bit though, because I'm not sure the weekends are the best time to do it. I don't know, we'll see. I'm rambling a little bit, but we'll see. Because I assume that most of you guys who watch this are tuned in from UK or Europe. I feel like I've had a few Australian viewers in the past for early mornings, but I feel like most of the viewership comes from Europe. Europe and UK. Cool, alright, let's tidy that up a little bit. Cool. Alright, what are we on? Let's see. We are on 20 to 11. Oh, 20 to 11. Do I do any more? Okay, I'm going to do this last bit. I know we're not exactly busy at the moment. There's probably about, what was it, 4 of you watching? But I think we're just going to do this last little bit, just because I'm committed to getting it done. Unrelated. When you paint custodies for your throne room, or will they? Sorry, I'm really butchering this for some reason. When you paint custodies for your throne room or the wall, will they all be gold, or will you lean into the different colours laid out in the 40k codexes or the current heresy rules? That's an interesting question. I'm thinking of... I'm not thinking of fully leaning in and having loads of different colour schemes for the custodies, because I don't want it to be too visually overwhelming. But I am thinking of having the custodies that are closest to the Emperor, which I can't remember the exact name, but they have the black cloak, I believe. So I think that's going to be the main scheme. I might have 1 or 2 that are painted up differently, just to kind of show, I don't know, coming back to Terra, maybe, checking in. But yeah, I think mainly we're going to have the one scheme, King of the Dead, just because I don't want it to be too, as I said, too overwhelming. Because on top of having the custodies, we are going to have some human elements to the diorama as well. So we're going to have servitors. I say human element followed by servitor. Yeah, not so human anymore. But we are going to have like servitors, some tech priests. I'm also thinking of having some, like, I don't know, nobility around, because there's some fantastic Necromunda models that can be used as kind of Terran nobility. So I'm thinking of incorporating them as well. But yeah, so that was the long answer, but the short answer is probably not King of the Dead. Also, with the vast number of custodies that I have to paint, it will make my job a lot easier if the colour palette is relatively similar. So that is another reason as well. That's one of the more boring reasons, but it is still, in my eyes, a legitimate reason. feel like we've gone through at least a quarter of a pot of Nuln Oil for this evening. King of the Dead, that's it, the companions of the Emperor, the Heteron Guard, two names for the same group. Exactly, those are the ones, King of the Dead. That is what we are going to have. I think I've built most of the custodies now, so I did get sent quite a few by some wonderful viewers of the channel, just to kind of push me over the edge of the 100 mark. The initial goal, you're probably aware of this, King of the Dead, but the initial goal was to have 300. But having set up 100 custodies on this board and how busy it looks with 100 custodies, I thought that we'd probably just keep it at that. Because with 300 of them, it's going to be a little bit overwhelming. So we've hit the goal for it. My only little gripe, and this is just a little gripe, is changing the way that the custodies look like for the Heresy compared to the 40k ones, because the Horus Heresy custodies now have way better proportions, and I feel like they look much better than their 40k counterparts. So it was a little bit of a shame that I don't know, it's a little bit of a shame that they changed it, I guess, but I also like them more. So part of me would, you know, if I could, I won't, because it's a stupid idea and it's just not going to happen, is I would keep them all the same in terms of scale and maybe not mix them in. But we're going to work with what we've got and probably use a combination of the two different types of custodies. Well, not probably, we're definitely going to do that. I painted 26 Custodies Infantry for a Heresy event back in second edition Heresy. That felt too much. Yeah, well, King of the Dead, basically we're going to do this in stages though, I think. We'll probably batch paint them mostly, I think, and if I get sick of batch painting, I'll probably just do more work on the throne. Because I'm going to try and not leave them all to the end and paint them all at once. Because I feel like that would be a really silly thing to do, just leave them to last and then paint them. There is one more set of Custodies that I do want to add, and that is the new Custodies Telamon Dreadnought, I think is coming out soon. So they're going to release that box set, which is similar to the Custodies Battle Group. I don't know what they're calling this one, but it comes with the jet bike riders. So I would like to get hold of that box set, just because part of me was thinking where you have the wall here is potentially having some clear plastic rods sticking out and having some jet bike riders kind of appear as though they're flying alongside the wall. And then Telamon Dreadnought is just Telamon Dreadnought. Who doesn't want a Telamon Dreadnought? So hopefully I'll be able to get my hands on one of those when it comes out. And I still got to finish building my grav tank that came with that Custodies box set. All things considered though, it is nice to see these kits that were once resin from Forge World become plastic. Because they're also a lot easier to build now. I know their ponytails aren't exactly fun when it comes to the standard Custodies, but the tanks and the Dreadnought are way easier to build than the Forge World counterparts. I could also let the airbrush do a lot of the work now, because in the past when I've painted Custodies, I have just used a brush and kind of washed them and then dry brushed them. And I feel like now, kind of going back to the skills I've developed with my airbrush, I can use that and speed up the process a bit more. Having built and painted both the resin and plastic grav tank, the plastic one is a huge improvement. I can imagine. I haven't built. I think maybe I built one resin custody at some point. Can't remember what that was. But yeah, working with plastic is a hell of a lot easier, and it's certainly easier when you want to customize elements of your custodies as well. For some of the new release, I mixed up certain pieces, so I kept some heads aside and used them with the older 40k sculpts for custodies. I mean, I know they weren't specifically 40k sculpts. You could use them in Heresy, and they did come in a Heresy box set back before Heresy got an overhaul. But yeah, so I've tried to mix a few of them up just so when they are sat on the diorama, they tie in a little bit better. So if you see some models with certain aspects from the newer kit and the older kit, it kind of explains both being there. Or at least that's how I feel like it does in my head. But I tell you, after this build, I'm going to be sick of custodies. I'm not going to want to see a single custody ever again. I'm going to drop all the Imperial stuff and just be a Xenos collector. I'll sell everything. I'll sell the throne. I'll sell the custodies. I'll never want to see them ever again. But see, having projects like this, pardon me, having projects like this, working on Necromunda Ash Wastes, gives me that much needed break. Also kind of tests the creativity a little bit more. But when we get back to the throne, there are a few more things that I would like to sort of readdress that we kind of strayed away from. Because initially, I wanted to have the arches that are featured in Neil Roberts' artwork. So his depiction of the throne, in front of all this machinery and these cables, he kind of has these sort of arches that partially obscure them. And I did always want to sort of replicate that, but I couldn't think of a decent way to do it. But I think now, with the access to 3D printing, I think I might have a go at it and see if I can 3D print some arches to sort of fit in with Neil Roberts' work. Just because obviously this is what it's based on, this is what my project is kind of loosely based on, but I do want to pay homage to it as well. I'm rotating Death Guard and Custodies for Heresy. I get the feeling of being burnt out on a single army. Yeah, it just happens. It happens with anything you're creating in Warhammer. You know, if you're painting the same thing over and over again, you're going to get a little bit burnt out. It's only natural, I feel like. And the same thing happens when you're working on scenery and dioramas as well. You can get a little bit burnt out with what you're doing. So keeping things fresh, I think, is always very healthy. Because it's always good to enjoy your hobby. You know, you want to be able to sit down after your day at work and just chill. You know, just chill and enjoy what you're doing. You don't want to be like, oh no, I have 20 more Death Guard that I got to paint for a tournament, you know. I think I'm just going to press on. I'll press on for another 10 minutes, I think. Because this section now is just the last little push. And then if it does involve me doing a little tiny bit in the morning when I get up, just before everything, just before I get started, then so be it. So, I think it's been pretty damn successful. I feel like it's been a bit of a quieter stream today. It's certainly become a little bit quieter now, but that's fair enough. It is 10 to 11 here in the UK, so for those of you based in Europe who are slightly further ahead in terms of time, you can understand it getting a little bit quiet. But that being said, yeah, the stream has been it's been pretty damn productive. Is that Luke? Glad I got to catch the last bit of the stream. What did you get done? Ah, well, Luke, do you know what? I will give you the personal lowdown, Luke, because it's been quite quiet for the last I don't know, 10 minutes or so. It's been me and King of the Dead. We've just been hanging out talking about custodies. But Luke, since you are here, I will give you the lowdown. So, what we've been doing this evening is I have been working on some of the grates on the top of this bridge here. Basically because we're very nearly done with the top of the bridge. I want to be able to finish this whole section, hopefully, by Sunday evening. So what I've been doing is using some Nuln Oil to fill in the gaps, just so tomorrow I can come back with a sponge and stipple on a bit of rust. Since today, I have been working on this temporary bridge. Now I'll hold this up to the camera and just, you might not be able to get a good look because it's kind of dark in this corner of the room. But basically, I've been working on some rust effects. I don't think it's going to... There we go. Yeah, so I've been working on this bridge, been working on some rust effects for it, and we're ready to go. So it fits here on top of the bridge as a way for your miniatures to get across. That's not the right piece. So it's kind of like a ramshackle bridge. And I just want to be able to finish it off, so I've started filling in those grates. And then come tomorrow, I'm going to stick the statues on. I'm going to dry brush the remaining statues that I haven't finished. And the job is a good one, basically. Fry Guy, I'm not dead. Fry Guy is still hanging on as well. So yeah, basically, Luke, it's been a pretty damn successful stream. What else did I do? Is there something else? Oh yeah, the one other thing while you're here is these two containers. So some of you, well, Fry Guy knows because Fry Guy's been here for most of the stream, and so is King of the Dead. Basically, I've got these shipping containers here. They still need to be weathered, but the idea behind this is a few streams ago people were asking about other access points to the top of the bridge, and I had a little bit of a think about that. Because obviously with having your Hive City walls here, it makes sense that you need another access point, especially if you're playing Necromunda or Kill Team or whatever. So what I've done is I've stacked these two shipping containers, and we're going to have a step ladder that goes up to this mid-level, and from there we're going to have another sort of shelf up here, we'll call it, with another ladder, just so your miniatures can kind of get up to this top bit without having to go through the Hive City, basically. And yeah, it's all kind of working out. I still need to paint the little shelf and I still need to weather the shipping containers, but that's the idea. So that's what we've been working on, and it's all kind of working out. We heard you like bridges, so exactly, and it's not just one. There's two. So there was that big bridge, and there's also, because there's a second gap on the main bridgeception here. I painted up another smaller one, so obviously you can cross here, cross there, and then when we start our hive walls, which is hopefully mid next month, I want to say, there will be another section, because there's going to be a gap, so there'll be another bridge that connects there. So lots of bridges on bridges on bridges. Looking really nice. Looking forward to Sunday's stream. Yes, Sunday's stream, we will be here on Sunday. We'll be streaming from 8 o'clock onwards, getting more done. And hopefully I'll have a lot more to show you guys, because I'm going to be absolutely going for it tomorrow and going for it Sunday. I got the whole weekend to work on this project, so I want to get it done. Come Sunday evening, I want us to be working on like the last little bits of it. Pardon me. Even better would be it would be done and I'm just showing you guys the finished board, but we're not gonna hold our breath for that one. So I'm going to fill in a couple more of these, I think, And then, unfortunately, Luke, I'm sorry you've just joined, but I'm probably going to have to wrap it up for the evening. I have to be up tomorrow, quite early. So, the good news is I'll get an early start working on the project, because I don't think I'm going to do anything else. I think this is the longest I probably streamed for a while. Actually, usually I get to half 10 and I'm like, that's it, I'm done, I'm going. But at the moment everything's kind of coming together with this project, so I feel like I've got a lot more energy, a lot more enthusiasm for it. And I just want to get started on the second section. I want to get started on our Ash Waste Nomad section, because I've got quite a few what I consider to be good ideas for it. So I'm hoping we can just get cracking with that. Earlier in the stream I also showed off a few of the pieces of scenery that I plan to include in the build, because Hobby House have provided me with loads of scenery for this project, like loads of scenery. I have been a bit of a kid in a candy shop when it comes to Warhammer terrain for this project. Got habs, got landing pads, got missile silos, Fortress of Redemption. There is all sorts. Your Aussie fans might love it. I have like 2 Aussie fans, I think, or Aussie followers of the channel for the streams. Because they're usually on, because I think it's really early in Australia and they were watching it before work. Or one of them was. But obviously with the usual times that I stream, I tend not to get many Australians and not many people from America either, just because of the time zone difference. I think mostly it's you guys, so Europe and here in the UK. And obviously now is a little bit of a weird point, because it's getting late here in the UK, and it's in some places an hour or more ahead in Europe. So most of you guys are switching off. To be fair, Fragger, you've been in for the long haul today. Lol, I swear you said you had 2 OnlyFans. No, Luke, no, we don't have any of that. That's not going on. Things are getting dire here. I'll be putting links to that in YouTube. Only a few more to go. But as well, I may as well ask you, Luke, too. If you could, I would appreciate it if you stick a like on the stream, just because YouTube really seems to like the interactions, and I feel like the more of you guys that drop a like and interact, YouTube tends to push the live stream a little bit more, which is quite good. It has helped us in the past, because our little community that we have over on Discord has definitely grown in the past few weeks. We're on about 17 members at the moment, which is nice. But for those of you who are new, watching live, there's all the links to the community stuff down below. There's a link to Discord. There's also other ways you can support the channel if you so choose, if you decide you are enjoying this kind of thing. I have said before that we do the streams Wednesdays, Fridays and Sundays. It's me kind of working on these big projects. I've got a few of them that I'm working on at the moment. Well, a few being the Golden Throne, and then this Hive City meets the Ash Wastes project. But in future there's going to be lots of different ones, and we will be revisiting the Golden Throne because it needs to be finished. And look at it. It dwarfs this board, so you can imagine how much more we have to do. We're kind of done with this bit, but we've still got the gate to paint, we've still got to do our balconies, we've got to add these little golden bits, got to finish the Emperor himself, because I haven't finished painting him yet. Yeah, we've got loads to do. it kind of worries me a little bit how much we got to do. Okay, let's get these. Oh, I missed that bit. That's what I got this out for. Being stupid. Oh, there it goes. That's gone. Alright, cool. So, I think, guys, I am going to have to call it an evening because it's 11 o'clock now, and I need to get some sleep if I am going to be up at 6 o'clock tomorrow. So, let's just make sure that we've got that last bit tidy using our cotton bud we dropped on the floor. Alright then, guys, so thank you very much for joining me for today's stream, or tonight's stream. We are definitely on the right path, and I'm going to do loads more tomorrow, so hopefully come Sunday I will be able to show you guys a much more detailed board, but I think you guys can see it's gradually getting more detailed, and I know I've got a few pieces off screen here, but obviously we still have our barricades, which we worked on the other day. So we'll have barricades on the bridge, we'll have our bridges on the bridge, and yeah, it's just it's all coming together. We've also got our statues. If that, my camera focuses on it, maybe not. So yeah, basically we're getting there, guys, we are really getting there. So if you want to see the next step, come and join me on Sunday at about 8 o'clock BST is when I usually start streaming. Let's see what else we got. Have a great weekend then. Thank you very much, King of the Dead. Thank you to all of you who stuck around. Thank you to everyone who's dropped by. Again, all the links and stuff are in the description of this video. And yeah, have a good weekend, and I will see you guys soon. So take it steady and goodbye. Goodbye.